Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to the As Always podcast, episode 135. I'm one of your hosts, James, and I'm joined, as always, by Tyler.
As always, how's it going, my friend?
Pretty good, how you doing?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Excited for just a classic bit of gaming with the four pillars, mate.
Yeah. Well, we are joined by the four pillars today. How's it going, Ethan and George?
Spoilers.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
It's going. That's about it. It's just going. It's November, which means I don't have much optimism, and I do find it a little bit funny every time we come on. I hear that intro, and Tyler just sounds less and less enthusiastic every single time.
That's not. Well, that is not true, man.
To begin with, it was like as always, and today it's as always. You know, it's like done. It's like one and done. It's like I've had enough. James,
as always,
it's simply,
in one syllable.
It's simply business. It's simply business. I'm excited to be here. This is my favorite part of the week. It's doing podcasts. James hates it. That's James.
Less excited.
Hey man, I'm sat here wearing Reebok Assassin's Creed collaboration merchandise. I'm not excited either.
Imagine, of course they partnered with Reebok though. The shittest fucking shoe company.
No, Reebok's are nice.
Hey man,
come on.
Hey look,
I've
I've got
no
these
stake
shoes on screen now. They've got a nice green like sole thing, and I reckon it tastes like mint.
No,
Reebok's just comfy. I like them.
I'll lick
you
it
would
right
think
now.
they're comfy, George. Fuck you.
I like Reebok, but that might just
Look, we
be
wear
because
shoes
I'm
over
busy.
here. I know you wear
Favourite
sandals in
brand
Australia.
of sports shoe.
And other bits.
No,
to
no
be
one.
fair.
Okay.
James, what's your favourite brand of sports shoe?
I like a
Yeah.
good Nike, maybe.
We all like a good Nike. I like
Yeah.
a good Nike. Nike is good.
I like
Nike?
Slazenger.
Nike.
I don't give a shit, Tyler. We like them. This one's flat. I don't know why, but it's got the tick on it, and it's lovely. And that is actually.
Are you holding a
better days.
crepe up right now?
I'm holding crepe up to the screen. I've just got like a clusterfuck of crepe down here. I've even got some fucking shocks. These are weird, but they're really comfortable, I swear.
I don't know what's going on.
This
We
is the
can't
second
see
where
because
Ethan
there's
reviews
cameras.
his shoes.
This is already exactly how I thought it would be, but this is why my favourite podcast is the four pillars together, all this together. It's just like, I always think I'm like, another podcast, yep, back to business, normal things, but then it's the four pillars together and we just do crazy shit. It's like last week when we recorded our Ghost of Tsushima Legends, I was like, I guess I'll get up at 7 in the morning on a Sunday and play multiplayer of a video game, and I hate playing multiplayer of all games, but then I played it with you guys, I was like, that was the best. I had so much fun.
Yeah,
it was
a good
it was
time.
great.
It's
Oh,
just,
God.
when the four pillars are together, it's just fucking bits and pieces happening all the time.
It's just
First things
utter
first,
madness.
got to review your shoe.
And so we'll talk about Reeboks and shoe reviews, but we'll also talk about the great producers over at patreon.com/as always. So if you like what you're listening to here and you want to hear more, head over to patreon.com/as always, and for just $1 a month, you get exclusive access to the best podcast on the internet. That's the Clubhouse podcast. So get amongst it. There's over 95 episodes for you to stream right now, so head over $1 and you can listen to all of that. Plus early access to videos and big projects James and I are working on, and exclusives that come out once in a while as well. There's some cool shit, and we've got some plans in the works for the big celebration of 300 patrons that we hit a couple of weeks ago. So that's exciting, which is our 2020 goal. And of course, thank you to the producers of this show that make this show happen. That is King Richard III, Josh DeVilliers, Damien Olberick, Avery Dobbs, Cat94, Real Cinema, Colton, and Ballsack47. Thank you, Sweet Vintage Lads, for helping power this podcast. Appreciate the shit out of you.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Hefty
Beautiful.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love
Amazing.
hefty gamers.
Oh, we love
Fantastic.
Gamers.
300 fucking patrons. You're doing bits.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
congratulations,
It's
boys.
actually crazy, eh?
It's wild.
Doing mad bits.
We were on
Yeah.
305 or something, but I mean,
You know it'll
I
drop down the
assume
new
it's
month.
'cause
It'll
it's
drop down.
the first,
Yeah.
but we're
Maybe
still
you should do a
over. We're still
merchandise
over 300.
collaboration with Reebok. They're mad
Yeah,
bits.
but they're only halfway processing, so we'll go down probably like 290, and then within a couple of days when it
Yeah.
reprocesses, it'll go back up again. So
Yeah, well,
it's always
that's
like
just
5 or
Patreon
6
for
days. It's just how Patreon works at the start of every month. It's just it. But then by the
Patreon-
end of November, we'll have like 325, so it won't go down.
Is that
below
our
300
goal?
Again, so.
Are we saying that now? That's our goal.
I
Not
reckon.
325 will
Let's
quit.
think about this. It's November. By the way, I had my last day of full-time work today, so I'm officially
Oh, wow.
part-time. I'm here, gamers.
Oh,
I'm
man.
fucking here. This is the celebration.
Tyler has joined the party.
Let's discuss business.
Yeah, what
Now-
other way to celebrate that than with the four pillars?
The 4
let's be
pillars.
honest.
Now, the
exactly.
funny
Yeah.
thing is, I've worked the last 5 days straight to my last one, and then, of course, I start my part-time tomorrow, so I get to do 6 days in a row, but it's fine, because then I'm only working 3 days this week and 3 days next week. I'm like, this is fucking incredible.
Beautiful.
What is my life? I can't believe I've got time to make YouTube videos, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh my
exciting.
God,
but
more time time to talk about Assassin's Creed. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Way more time. Way more time to talk about Assassin's Creed.
To talk about Assassin's Creed, which is exactly what you want, Tyler. I can see it in your eyes.
And that's exactly what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Let's get fucking hammered.
Finally.
11:46 in the morning. Come on, let's fucking do it, boys. Get the fucking shots out.
That's it. And that's and of course you probably know from the title if you've clicked on this video podcast, it is it's the preview show. It's November. Next gen consoles this month. Cyberpunk 2077 lol jokes. And Assassin's Creed. Valhalla, Spider-Man, a whole lot of things. And of course Cyberpunk 2077 lol jokes.
Demon Souls.
There's so many great games
Kingdom
not
Hearts.
named Cyberpunk 2077. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, number 1, of course.
Fuck yeah, man.
List of November.
Well, I mean, the game looks like shit, but
No,
how dare you? It doesn't look like shit.
It's fucking brilliant. Hey,
come on.
As soon as like we're playing that on Horsey and Fox, and you're sitting there and you're playing, you'll go through the phases of like getting in with it. Like you'll be playing, you'll be like, oh, it's actually pretty good, and then you'll be like, wait, why is this so fucking hard? And then you'll just be fucking losing your shit, fucking shouting at the fucking game because you can't do it. And then you'll complete a level.
We go, oh, classic.
And you have the
Kingdom
satisfaction.
Hearts.
It's so fucking fun. That demo, I was playing it for way too long.
I mean, I would rather it be like a game that I can actually walk around in and play, though.
Yeah, but it's like you still get them.
It's a different
it's
experience.
Not, it's not instead of that. It's just as well as because it's just.
I can warm to anything that's branded Kingdom Hearts. So
in
I
other
reckon I'll
news,
warm
November's
to
a mad month.
It's gonna be
because
sick.
Kingdom Hearts music game.
Yeah.
That's the other reason.
And Cyberpunk pranked us. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, new consoles, Spider-Man Miles Morales. If anything else is escaping me, I swear to fucking God, it'll come to me eventually.
Yeah, I can't remember anything else, but
Call
that's
of Duty,
the main.
Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
didn't necessarily forget about that. I just didn't mention it.
Right. So
I think it looks pretty good.
To start the show, let's go around the room here. Let's ask the question. Ethan, what consoles are you getting, if any, this month? And are you getting day one?
PS5. PS5 is what I think I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got it sorted out.
So you are getting a PS5.
I've got it. Yeah, no, but you never know with fucking delivery drivers. Sometimes they show up. Other times they're like, no, we have stuck your parcel in a bush.
Yeah.
No, it is 6 miles away, and here's a puzzle to find it. No,
pretty cool.
Yeah, of course. No, I've gone for the PS5.
Nice one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't manage to get a pre-order initially, but Eddie, of all people, had he pre-ordered a few to make sure that he got a hold of one because he's been stung in the past. His words, not mine. And so he said, so he said, would you like one of these pre-orders? Because 2 have, been confirmed. I'm like, sure. So he's either stolen my money or.
What does Eddie do that he has this money to just throw away for fucking shit like he does?
I have no idea.
Crazy.
I'm like,
He's
dude, you have a
crazy. He's got a
child.
daughter.
What do you do? You've got a child.
Eddie
You spend
has a
so
really
much
sinister
time on
job.
YouTube, and then you've got enough expendable income to do shit like that. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does so much YouTube, has a regular job, runs a Patreon, and has all
I
this
think
money.
he's self-employed.
What
I think he's self-employed.
I am pretty sure he's self-employed. Yeah.
I think he's like a gas engineer or something.
A gas engineer. Holy shit.
And he gets paid enough to do like insane shit.
Well, you get.
Well, I mean,
it's the type of job where you get called by random grannies going, "My boiler's not working." You do 2 minutes of work and earn $1,000.
And he comes around and he goes, "Now you got a piece of Eddie inside of you."
Exactly. That's an extra 500 quid,
man.
1,500 quid on the spot.
No, it's not that expensive. Trust me, it's cheap as hell. Yeah, he pays them. No, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. James, you've got, if I'm correct, Xbox Series X and the PS5.
I do indeed. I secured both, and it's going to be fucking sick and cool and epic.
What have you bought the Series X for?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be playing lots of... I want to play Xbox games.
You couldn't wait 9 days. And he wanted to play Valhalla on it. He only got the Xbox for Valhalla, and we all know
Xbox
that.
to play
That's
Valhalla.
not even true. I was always going to get both consoles.
It is true.
And people keep saying,
the first game
you play Valhalla day one. That's not why, but also...
But it's the first game you'll play on your Xbox, is it
bonus.
Valhalla?
Well, yeah, probably.
Is it the first game? Yeah, okay, so there you go. There's the answer. You've got it to play Valhalla.
Yeah,
Embrace it for November, and then afterwards revel in the fact that you spent 500 quid on a console that is essentially a tiny fridge that doesn't fit anything in it.
Yeah, but look,
you may use it to rest like to stop papers from being blown around the room when the window's open. So that's a good thing. But also, it just takes up space. Like, these consoles are fucking massive. Why are they so big?
The Series X is quite a nice size, to be honest. Whereas the
but it's
PS5
awkward, so
is
sort
fucking
of, like, doesn't fit
ginormous.
anywhere. Well, it doesn't. They're both awkward shapes, though. One's just massive, and the other's just a box.
I think
a
like
big fat
differently
box.
though. Like the PS4 and the Xbox One, like I'm looking at them now, they're because they're like sideways and like flat. They fill up so much room on my desk. Whereas when I have the Series X and the PS5, they can just basically stand next to each other. I'm gonna have so much fucking room over there. It's gonna be great.
That's cool.
I'm
in a more like in a more relaxed setting, so not like at a desk, but more like under a television set. A big Xbox Series
like
X,
in
I
a
don't see that would
normal,
fit. Or a PS5, that's probably bigger than most people's houses.
Oh, well, to be fair, they can both rest on their side if you need them to. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess so. But with the Xbox Series X, it doesn't. The dimensions don't really help. It's just.
It is a bit
it's
of a
pretty bulky.
rectangle, isn't it?
It's
cuboid.
it's a proper cuboid.
Let's stop body shaming the Xbox Series X.
Should be more fucking slender. I'm not having this. The Series S is more like it. It's more my style.
They should just call it the X cuboid, because at least then people would know what to buy and not accidentally buy Xbox One X's.
Yeah, well, it should just be called it was just how big it is. It should be
The
called the
X
Xbox
cuboid,
Series
please.
XL.
The Xbox, fuck, we ran out of names because we snookered ourselves.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What a
God.
terrible
It was worth
name.
it. It was worth it for the Xbox 360, I think, just for a future of awful names for consoles. Just because the 360 is so cool.
Yeah, you'll never beat the 360.
Meanwhile, you've got Sony. Buy the PS5. You know it's the next one because it's 5, not 4. It's pretty simple.
They should just
Not
call
one
the
of those
next Xbox
idiots.
Xbox 5, and they'll be
They should just call the next Xbox 5.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
It's funny because it's not. It's that one would be the.
It'd be the fifth.
That would fifth. Yeah. That's
Well,
fine.
it depends if you're counting all their little side ones. It might be like the Xbox 12.
360.
So
Yeah, that's right. No, yeah, that's mad.
Well, if you like Apple, you
Okay.
can just skip numbers. It's fine.
yeah, true.
I
like
want them
Apple,
to-
yeah. Just beat
I'd love-
PlayStation. The next Xbox can be the Xbox 7, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Pff, we're better."
Xbox
They just
7,
call their console
PlayStation
they
6,
call their
iPhone 69. We're on a roll.
Well, Xbox could just call their next console the PlayStation 6 just to confuse people. They're like, "Oh, you all like PlayStations? Well, we'll make a PlayStation."
We'll call it the PlayStation 6 Plus. That's what they can
6
call
Plus,
it,
yeah.
just to fuck people over.
Yeah.
The Xbox, but it's a PlayStation and cool.
Yeah.
Helper. Oh god.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
Microsoft live for the chaos of when it comes to
Oh my
naming their
God.
consoles. They just live for it. I'm
Do
sorry,
it on
this
purpose.
conversation's going on, but they do live for the fucking chaos.
George, did you secure any consoles for day one? Are you getting the next gen consoles?
No consoles day one. I'm gonna have to get the PS5 on release week because I didn't realise that they would run out of pre-orders, which I think is absolute bollocks. I think they're just trying to create hype for it. Like, how does Sony run out of PS5s? So I'm gonna have to order one on release week.
That is never gonna happen. I
I
don't think you're gonna get one.
You never know.
Just show up to people who have bought them and start chinning people.
You'd like to think they'd stock enough, considering the pre-orders have fucking been absolutely rinsed.
It's been a shit.
Well, I
show.
think
I'm gonna literally stay up until midnight with the fucking page open. I'm gonna press the button as soon as I fucking can.
That's what I did when the pre-orders opened. I woke up at fucking 8 a.m. or whatever it was, which wasn't that unreasonable to be honest, and just got a pre-order. I did the same for the Xbox as well, so I just secured both and we're good.
I mean, I didn't think they were gonna sell out.
I
haven't
didn't
bought a
think they'd
console in
sell out
many
that
years.
quick, but I thought they'd sell out like at least within that sort of day. But it was like within 5 minutes.
It's fucked. It's
and
fucked.
everything was
Everyone's
gone.
just trying to rob the gaming from me.
And then you have people who then take them and try to resell them at ridiculous prices.
That's what most are.
Yeah.
They're like bots.
It's fucking
that
stupid.
are just grabbing them. Yeah.
Just let the
Yeah,
gamers
that's-
have the gaming, alright?
Yeah.
Don't steal the gaming.
But I
Don't
mean,
steal the gaming.
when-
Don't take my game.
When there's a limited supply of anything, you're always going to have scalpers. I mean, there's several examples I can think of. Not just this. They do that with like exclusive clothing. They do it with toilet paper.
Tickets to concerts.
Exactly, all sorts. Fucking,
Everything.
If I can make fucking dosh, I will do it. That's the.
Keep the
I'll
Dutch
stand
coming in,
outside of
boys.
McDonald's
Keep
and I'll
the
sell
dough
people
coming
the
in.
food for cheaper.
Yeah,
No, actually,
more
no, not cheaper. That'd be
expensive.
pointless. Yeah.
Yeah, you want a Big Mac for a tenner? You
So
don't even have to go
basically, you can buy
inside.
this Big Mac for more than you bought it in the store.
And apparently it's a good value for money. I'm not saying
Yeah. How to get maximum money when visiting your local McDonald's? Sell the Big Mac for double the price.
Can I talk about how this is all over the fucking show? What are we actually talking
this
about?
This is classic 4 pillars. This is all the people want. They just want.
They love it.
They just want us having a good time and talking a bit of gaming, and
That's
also
very
there's some semblance of
JoRaptor
structure,
impressions
it's cool.
that James and George do. So it's exciting. Well, I pre-ordered the PS5 and I got day one getting delivered November 12th, so I'll get it before you.
Oh
take
yeah,
phones.
7 days early.
Oh, fuck.
But I'm gonna wait to play Valhalla on the PS5, so I'll just wait 2 days to play it. I'm not gonna play it on like the
Not
PS.
too
Fuck
bad.
that. Fuck that. I'm not waiting. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not playing it on a fucking pre-console just for 2 days.
I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting, guys.
Actually, that's exactly what I'm doing, Tyler. I'm waiting. That's literally exactly what I'm doing.
Waiting for.
I'm
I was
definitely
so
waiting.
excited for Valhalla.
He's so excited. He
I'm definitely
fucking words.
And then I can just play because I'll just play. When's Melody of Memory come out? What's the release date?
13th.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. I'll play that on PS5.
God.
So, what comes
You
out?
see, I'm gonna
and
have
then-
to wait
and then
for
I'll get
a lot
Miles,
of games.
and I'll get Miles Morales as well. Is there anything before that? I really need to finish. I still haven't finished Final Fantasy VII. Like, I really need to do that.
Are you getting
like,
Godfall?
it's a disaster. No.
Godfall looks crazy.
What? It
Yeah.
looks like
The
fucking shit.
first 3 things I'm gonna get will be Valhalla, Kingdom Hearts, and Spider-Man. And that was
Not
gonna be
getting Demon
ages.
Souls.
No.
Oh, Demon Souls looks so good, man. I'm so
It does
fucking
look
ready for that.
So sexy. Oh,
Looks so good. That new gameplay they put out where he goes in and does the fucking like spider boss thing hanging from the ceiling. Oh, it looks so good.
I'm ready to get smashed about in that game.
I'm very ready for
Hours.
It looks
What's,
so pretty that I don't mind.
What's your guys' thoughts of the first 12 months of these consoles? Like, what does it look like for the PS5 and the Xbox? These big games they're talking about, like the Horizons and the God of Wars, that apparently are 2021. Lol. Do they come out? No way. There's no way God of War comes out next year. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, better not.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
be
I
delayed.
agree. I agree. It'll be
Strikes me
delayed.
as a delayed game.
Yeah.
You can tell the game's going to get delayed from a mile away.
And do you think when we're here, November 1st, or November 2nd, I should say, 2021, will Cyberpunk 2077 be out? That's the question. That's the question.
I reckon Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't exist. It's all just a massive prank.
It's
It
a
doesn't
work
come
of
out.
fiction.
It's
but,
like Kingdom
more
Hearts
so
3.
than it
It's
already
fucking
is.
a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It's just a conspiracy.
It's
theory.
not really
It doesn't-
happening.
It's not real. No,
Well,
what will happen is
actually-
I think at the very least the December release date might get pushed back into
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Oh,
Do
I
we
hope
think it's
not.
coming December 10th, or do we
I
think
mean-
that's a bit
Ooh.
too much to hope for?
I think it is.
got-
I mean, everything indicates that the last thing that CD Projekt Red are great at doing so many things. Predicting when they'll be able to release a fucking game is not one of those things.
They've really
It's
fumbled
perhaps-
the bag.
So if I'm if I've heard correctly, it is just because the Xbox One and PS4 versions suck ass.
Apparently so.
Well, yeah.
They shouldn't have them in the first place, you know. I feel like limiting games to previous gen is always a bad idea.
yeah,
but
but
also-
I mean,
I think it was
Cyberpunk
designed
started
also-
development
previous
7
gen,
years ago, so it's
Yeah.
like I guess they didn't really have the foresight to think, oh, we'll develop these for the Series X and PS5.
No.
But
Back
also,
when they
when
started.
you're launching a game
Yeah,
at the
that's
launch
eight.
of the new consoles, no one has the fucking new consoles. So you're gonna make fucking shit money if you release on the new consoles. You'll sell
Yeah,
fuck
they're
all.
trying to make the most
In
money
the transition
possible.
of a generation, exclusivity
make
to the next
exclusives.
generation is not really viable. That's why there's this overlap period.
Especially for third
which will
party.
last usually about a year, you know? A year, maybe a year and a half. By the
Yeah.
end of 2021, it'll be all shifted.
Yeah.
But until then, it's not going to be viable to just do the exclusive to the next generation unless it's a studio owned by that by the company that released the
Yeah.
console, like
Yeah.
Sony.
Microsoft,
They can get
Sony.
away with it because they know that they'll have that audience there. But with a lot of other games, it's a big risk.
And then you've got Microsoft like, oh, let's release Halo Infinite for previous gen consoles as well, because that's a good idea.
I mean, the game looks like fucking wank anyway, so why not?
Visually,
Oh,
it
that's
looks like
another
shit
thing.
show.
They've
forgot
lost
that
their
existed.
creative director again.
Oh, for
How
fuck's
did
many
sake.
have they gone through?
Yeah, they've lost them
Have
again.
they gone through a few of them?
Yeah, a couple of them now.
Yeah, we've
Jesus.
delayed the game to get the most amazing Halo experience you've ever experienced in your entire life, and they've lost the second
What I think,
creative
though,
developer.
and what I hope is that's happened here, is that sort of makes space now for Joseph Saturn, who worked on Halo 1, 2, and 3, to step up to that position.
Yes, please.
Because he came in before the delay as being a campaign lead. But now there's a space of creative director. Maybe he'll step up, and we don't know when Halo Infinite's coming out. I think at the earliest it'll be end of 2021.
I literally
yeah.
think it might be 2 years away. I think it's 2022. I think it's like 2
it's going to have a
years away.
full shake-up. I think next time we see Halo Infinite, it probably will be an entirely different game. I think they're
hope
really
so.
going to change a lot of it,
Yeah.
which I'm cool with because that demo was,
Shit.
Underwhelming.
It
as
was a
fuck
disaster.
what
It was a disaster. It was a disaster.
It was
It was
embarrassing.
fucking hilarious.
It was an
It might be.
embarrassment.
It might be one of the worst reveals or showcases in the history of video games.
It was bad. How
It's
can you
so
fumble
bad.
a Halo
it was
reveal?
It was worth it for the memes.
for
Well,
the
yeah,
meme,
Craig was pretty
Craig's
funny.
a good meme,
That
yeah.
that brute, yeah.
Well, it
It
broke
was
my
also worth
heart
it for the
watching it.
delay. It was worth it for
Yeah.
the delay. Because who knows, this is the best chance that we get something good. So hopefully when it's like we play it and it's for some like miracle, it's a great game. We're like, thank God for that terrible showcase, because otherwise
It
that's what we
saved
would have
the
played.
game.
It's just
Yeah.
a
It may
marketing
save the game.
campaign. They're
It
making
may save
everyone
the
think
game.
that Halo's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Halo 4 and 5 were. It was they were making
Except they
everyone think
actually
Halo
came out.
shit.
Worst
and
case
they were
scenario.
shit.
That was all
Worst case
part of the Infinite
scenario, it just
marketing.
reminds a lot of people why this game might not be for them. That's the joy of showing off games, before they're out, like so you can see the gameplay and stuff, so you can see what you're buying, you
Yeah.
see what you're paying for. Because if you don't see that, you might run the risk of spending $60-70 actually dollars now on what might turn out to be a just wank.
Yeah, but
Well,
think
I
how
mean,
many
if you got
times
Game
exhausted.
Pass, you're paying fuck all, really. For
That's
Halo.
true. Game Pass is
True.
brilliant.
They give me a shit Halo game and I
Game-
just throw peanuts at them.
I guess Game Pass. Yeah, I don't really think about that there, but yeah, you get the point.
343
There's
is on
worth
the
money,
ground.
then there's worth time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
The-
Yeah, I get it for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I'm talking back to Cyberpunk. I'm gonna say no. It doesn't come out December 10th. I think it comes out in January. I do think it comes out soon. But
January?
I think it comes out in
I'm
January.
reckoning March. I'm gonna go March.
I think February was my estimate.
All right.
Right,
And-
George, you've
and
got
George says
fucking
December.
April.
All right, so let's-
no, I think
let's-
it's coming out December.
Okay, so George says December.
Okay.
I say January. James says February. Ethan says March. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet.
A bet.
What's
bet of
the
what?
bet
The
on?
loser gets peanuts thrown at their head.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Let's make a legit bet. Let's make a legit bet. Like, I don't know,
Okay.
20p.
20p.
So the
20p.
winner gets
I
the
can
winner
just
get the
barely
winner
afford
I'll tell you what, Tyler. If I well,
the
okay,
winner
I'll tell
gets
you
so the
what.
winner gets 60 essentially.
So we'll all
But
put
20 from each
20p in a
person.
pot.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's make a legit money bet. Not like a lot, but like let's make a money bet. What month does it come out?
Yeah.
20p per person that loses, and the winner gets 60p.
But make
And
it like
like-
your,
Okay.
your finest like
And the
silver
winner
coin.
can then take that 60p
Yeah, you find a silver,
and
yeah.
maybe put it towards half or a quarter of a Greg's. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I'd love a Greg's right now.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so it not being delayed now counts on George getting his Greg's.
Yeah.
Alright.
Pray to the
Alright.
Greg's gods, maybe.
Alright, that's the
maybe
bet
you'll be
then.
okay.
Okay,
But
that's
I
a
just
bet.
don't. It just doesn't seem like anyone's prepared to get
Yeah.
that game out in December, and if it does, there's a little risk that it still might have issues. Oh, every game has issues post-launch. You can't iron them all out, and there will probably be quite a few. Big game, it's just inevitable. It happens. So they'll either delay it and then have it release at any point and still have the same issues, or they'll release it and at least not have it, cause overheating issues or whatever the reason is for the problems with current generation or last generation when it comes out consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, subsequent bet then. How big is the day one patch? How fucking enormous is that shit?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm not buying into this. I can't afford 40.
Oh, it'll be big though. It'll be a big patch because the game went gold a little while back and they've delayed it since.
Yeah.
So the patch is probably going to be pretty big compared to most.
Oh.
Like 60 gigabytes minimum?
60.
I'm gonna say 60. I reckon it's gonna be fucking insane. Well, look at
Yeah,
those
I
like
reckon it'll be
Master Chief
about-
Collection patches. They're like 50 50 gig all the
Well,
time.
a day zero patch, like when Valhalla is 2.9 gig.
Yeah,
I reckon
well,
6,
Valhalla's just a
7
regular
gig.
game that came out when it was supposed to come out.
I reckon 6, 7, 8
Before.
gig for Cyberpunk, something like that.
Okay, maybe I
I can't even
overstated.
guess.
I don't know.
There's no money bet on this. It's just fucking throw numbers out here.
600 gig. No, fuck that.
No, that's next Warzone update.
I reckon maybe 10, 15 gigs. Somehow.
10,
Right, I'm gonna
15
change it to
gigs.
25 gigs.
There's no way a day like one patch is gonna be 25 gig. That's
Well,
huge.
you can suck me
This
off.
is the
when it
beginning of the
is,
Four
can't you?
Pillars
That's some
gambling
whole
addiction
game.
right here.
CD Projekt Red know how to fucking compress their files.
Yeah. Well,
Dude,
Yeah, they know how to
Alright,
compress the
we'll
files,
find
but that
out.
doesn't mean there won't be. There won't be.
Find
There'll
out.
be loads.
all right. Fucking Cyberpunk. Oh my god, what a disaster! What a simple disaster.
Yeah.
Put it this way. When the game comes out and it's probably
It's a-
gonna, absolutely slap. It's gonna be fantastic, I reckon. This won't be news. Like they won't be getting shit for this when the
No.
game's out.
No one will remember any
They'll
of this.
get
They'll
shit
just
for it.
Jason
Up
Schreier
until-
might remember it.
They'll get shit for it until. But if the game, well, Jason Schreier will remember because he has a mad memory and he's also Spider-Man. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
he is
Spider-Man.
He's got a Spidey sense for crunch.
it's crunch sense. No.
What's that? Did
What
someone
I'm trying to
sweat in the office? Get him on the
trying
phone.
to say- what I'm trying to say is, if you release a game and it's fucked, people are going to give you shit for that forever. If you delay a game because it's fucked and then unfuck it and then release it, it's no longer news.
People will love you forever.
Yeah, exactly. It's
true.
It's the
Yeah.
long game.
Yeah, if you do that, you just CD
CD
Projekt
Projekt
Red.
Red love to play that long game. I
Yeah,
guess.
I
I don't
think-
think they love it, but they prefer it.
I think it's pretty obvious that the game will be pretty fucked
Come out.
on old consoles, 100%, no matter
Yeah.
what.
I think the game will be pretty fucked in general.
Yeah.
I think massive games are always going to be messed up. It's just a varying degree. In fact, most games that launch these days are just fundamentally clapped, aren't they? Can you think of any
God
game
of War,
really
Red Dead
that's
Redemption
released
2?
in the past? No, I mean besides from God of War, that one was pretty
Red Dead,
Perfect.
Last of Us
Yeah,
2.
Red Dead.
Red
Yeah,
Dead.
Last of
I
Us
mean,
Part 2,
they had their
perfect.
issues.
Horizon.
They did have their issues. Horizon, yeah, you got a few.
Yeah,
Ghost
face
of Tsushima,
animations
Ghost
in
of
Horizon.
Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, yeah. That's another
All the
one.
good
Okay,
games.
my point is actually just gone down the drain. Thanks, guys.
All you
It's
gotta do is
you
list
only play
PlayStation
Assassin's
exclusives.
Creed. Yeah. It's because you
Yeah.
only play Assassin's
Okay.
Creed, Ethan, and that's
Okay.
why. And all of them.
Let's
released
rehash
bugs.
it then.
Ubisoft games
If
are all
you-
fucked.
Yeah.
If you cross it, if you go for that are on both consoles and
Right,
PC,
cross-gen.
which ones are they're pretty much all fucked.
Red
Dead
Even
Redemption
Redemption 2 has its issues.
Oh, on
Yeah, it has
PC,
both.
on PC, Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty fucky. My mate was
on
having loads
PC,
of
Red
issues
Dead
with
Redemption
it.
2 is pretty fucking magical. Is what it is.
My mate was having a lot of issues when he was trying to install it the other day, and it was just messing him over. It took him like 13 hours to get the game working.
To be fair,
That's all
I've
worth
had
it.
some
And that,
issues
well,
with
that's. I mean,
What-
to be fair, that's only the prologues. The snow section's that long, so it's like in perspective. In perspective, like
That's just how long it takes
13
to milk
hours.
a cow.
yeah,
The game's
Oh,
really
God.
slow paced. It likes that.
yeah. I know. I have so many friends that like try to play. They're like, I'm not fucking.
I'm not
going
doing
through
it, man.
snow so slow. I'm not doing it. I'm not spending fucking 3 hours hunting a fucking deer. It's like it takes 2 minutes, but okay.
Yeah, it's
Takes
like you just have to
five
move
minutes.
the
Yeah, it doesn't take
analog
very long.
sticks about.
It's like I'd rather play
Shoot
Odyssey,
something.
you know. I can kill
Yes, it's a
5
slow
deers in
paced-
5 seconds, and that's
I
what
can kill
it's
a
all
cool
about.
Cyclops in Odyssey.
That is
Yeah,
Do
epic.
the Cyclops
Yeah.
boss battle or the Medusa
that-
boss battle.
They kept putting that Cyclops in different places around the map. Like
I
once,
know.
once a month there'd be
Why?
a new Cyclops boss, and you get
I
epic
know.
loot.
It's so stupid.
New piece of Eden. New piece of Eden.
It's I don't know what you're saying. That's incredible game design. Just imagine, well, okay, now we're going to waste people's time somewhere else.
Do the same
Oh,
It
boss.
looks the same.
I hope
It just
they
gives
do
you a different
that,
weapon.
I hope
They
they do that in
actually-
Valhalla, but they do it with the black
They
shut.
actually had one
whatever it's
small
called.
variation that makes it an amazing thing as opposed to shit. One's on fire, the other one's like water boy or whatever.
It's better
They
than
had,
the
like,
Trial of the Gods, though, to be honest.
What be the other gods we get to face?
To be honest, if you gave me an option to choose between either of those, I'd still throw myself off a cliff.
I
So-
hated the Trial of the
Oh.
Gods. They were the worst
I didn't hate them that
bosses.
much.
Well, it's
I
all
didn't hate
good
that
because in
They were
Assassin's
just-
Creed
that was-
Valhalla, you've got Asgard. You get to fight
They
Thrush
weren't really
Troll.
bosses.
You get to fight
They
Thor.
I wouldn't describe the Trial of the Gods as bosses. They were just I don't know.
sponges
Shoot
for
this thing
damage.
that moves a bit.
Oh, they were
and
so
avoid
weird
these
and
boys.
pointless.
They were
and-
shit. They were shit. They gave you epic loot, but that's literally it.
You get the Anubis gear.
You can get the conductor of souls from this
Here
boss
we go.
battle.
Health on his sword.
But now it's gone.
Health
Oh,
on
the
his,
Jackal's
but now it's
gaze.
gone.
We love it with this.
Used to
We
get
love
the
a bit of
Jackal's
JoRaptor.
gaze from the smoke over water side quest. Now you get the shit fourth plague.
The Trial of the Gods was peak JoRaptor, wasn't it? It was a good time.
I love JoRaptor so much. I love him so much. Oh,
They
God.
removed it in
I
the
would
2.0
I would
updates.
honestly not be shocked if one of these days he shows up and sues us. Out of
Oh
Yeah.
god.
To
I
be honest,
really
I'd be
love
really
JoRaptor.
upset if he did that. I'd be like,
I feel
why are you
betrayed.
doing that? Yeah.
We don't really like
maybe
him.
I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I love him
I'd-
so
I'd-
much. When he does
I'd want to
those,
get him on the. I'd want to get him on the podcast one day. Sure.
That'd be. I'd watch every
I
second.
wonder
of
if
that.
we. I hope we gel well. Like people always say, like, "Oh, you should get him on." I'm like, I don't know how well we'd like get on, just sort of like having a chat. But maybe
There
it'd
is
be
one way to
alright.
find that
Because I
out.
feel like not
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm-
people
I'm
know about
more than
him as a
happy to have-
person. So
Yeah,
maybe
I'd
it would
love
be
to
like
know.
interesting. Yeah. See what he's
I
all
I
reckon
reckon
about.
it would be a class podcast. That you should do it.
Yeah.
We can talk
Definitely,
about the
I'm
bit
more
of
than happy to have
stones,
it,
but
have him on.
not
We've,
yet.
We've got,
Yeah.
but not yet. But we've got the whole year pretty much booked. So it'll be next year if we got JoRaptor on.
Yeah, we talked to him about the DLCs.
Oh,
Talk
true.
to him about the Nightmare Pack.
And,
Oh,
when,
jeez.
and yeah,
How much
and
do
when
you think this is worth?
and when Cyberpunk finally comes out in January, and you guys pay me 60p, so it's fine.
Oh, that's not.
And what are you
happening.
going to do with that 60p, Tyler? Buy yourself a coffee?
How
Yeah,
much is
mate,
that in
I'm
Australian
gonna-
money? Like $50.
What's that? Yeah, it'll be like that's like $120 Australian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
with that
You
kind
could
of
buy a
money,
piece of
you
land.
can full on house.
that's like fucking half a week's rent.
You could
Buy
become
like
a
a
land
house or
baron on
something.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Buy a few
I'll,
sheep.
Buy a few sheep. Buy a
Name
couple
them all
new
Joe.
Kangas.
Couple new Kangas.
Nah,
the
The
old
old
ones
one's
are
really
the
fucking annoying.
yeah. No, the old ones are fucking. It's stupid. No, the
What happens when
the
you get
sheep's
new-
all the
when you
as
get
always
these
patrons.
new kangaroos? Do you
Just
kill
letting
the
them
old
in.
ones and eat them? Because I would.
No, I
Dinner.
oh god, no, I refuse to eat kangaroo.
Nah, just box him up.
I refuse to eat
Punch them
kangaroo.
to pieces.
Yeah,
You
no,
just
I don't eat Australian icons. I won't do it.
No,
I'm not.
that'd be
If someone else
sacrilege.
wants to, if someone else wants to, I get it. That's fine because people eat, kangaroo. It's a pretty
Everything.
normal thing.
Do they? Do they
Yeah.
actually eat kangaroo?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty normal. It's not. Well, it's not like no one's gonna. I don't know people that really have it. Like most people probably tried it, or probably had like a kangaroo steak or something like that. But like,
Yeah, most
it's
people.
not.
Yeah.
It's not more common than beef and fucking chicken or anything like that, or pork. But it's
I
like the
hope
thing
not.
people eat here. And yeah, I've never had, and I don't want to have it. I don't want to eat kangaroo.
Yeah, that sounds a bit
It's
odd.
an-
Eating a
it's
kangaroo,
it's
I wouldn't be happy with
It's an
that.
Australian
To
icon.
be fair,
and-
I probably couldn't either. But that's I don't know. I mean, if
And I
there
love
was nothing
kangaroos.
else to eat and it was there was just a kangaroo,
I
that was
guess.
there.
yeah, I mean, I
I'd
guess.
definitely kill it
Neo
and
for
cook
the
it and eat
kangaroo.
it to survive.
Yeah, they're
But,
beautiful. They're beautiful animals. and I love
The
them.
kangaroo would probably kill you, though. To be fair, if it was
do you-
you
what do you
versus a
mean?
kangaroo.
Not if I choke it out with. all
Not
my
really.
might.
Not really. Not really. No, you'd fuck
Kangaroos are
a kangaroo,
pretty-
it'd be fine.
They're pretty strong, right?
I mean,
They got
yeah.
strong
I
legs.
mean,
Then they just like kick
I
you
mean,
in the
if
head.
you would die, James. Yes, you would die if that's what you're saying.
got a
But
pretty
I don't know about
strong
Ethan.
head.
I don't know about Ethan. I don't know about Ethan. But I mean, a red kangaroo. Those things are fucking enormous. Like, Google red kangaroo, and you'll fucking like. Those
I'll
are
do it
the
right now.
those are the aggressive cunts.
I reckon I could
They're
do one.
the big fellas.
Red
I
kangaroo.
wouldn't fuck with a red kangaroo. They'd fuck.
Oh
you
my
up.
God,
Yeah,
why
they're
is it
tough.
flexing
Look at
for
them.
the
Yeah,
camera?
they're fucking flexing. What the fuck?
I'd
They're-
jump in its
they're
pouch.
the
pretend I'm its
biggest-
kid.
They're the biggest of boys, and they will fuck you up. Don't fuck with a red kangaroo, but a grey kangaroo, whatever. The fuck off. A red
You know
kangaroo,
what?
Get fucked.
New strategy. Me and the red kangaroo team up and we hunt something else.
Yeah,
Okay.
grey kangaroos.
yeah.
are,
Why are they
always
are
flexing? Why do they
Beautiful,
always flex their muscles?
way more gentle.
Oh
creatures,
yeah,
but red
look at a grey
kangaroos-
one.
Yeah,
Looks like a
grey
large
kangaroos are beautiful
squirrel.
and smaller, but yeah, but red kangaroos are big. They're the big fellas.
Kangaroos are such weird fucking animals when you look at them. They honestly, they look like mythical beasts.
Yeah, I don't know what they're fucking
Look
think
at
they're
that
doing, to be
foot.
honest.
What are you doing? Why
Yeah.
is your foot that big, you fucking monster? What
Why
the
is
hell?
your body all like that?
Oh my
Josh will be
god,
loving
it's
putting
so
up with the pictures of
big.
Kangaroos.
They're pretty cute though, aren't they?
Fuck.
They're a beautiful animal. They're so normal for me. Like, I don't think they're weird at all.
Oh my god, their feet are
Like,
huge.
they're the most normal animal.
What
You see them
the
all the fucking time.
The most normal animal.
Yeah, but they
Top
legit
five
are. They
most
legit are
normal
so
animals.
normal. They're so normal.
Dog.
I guess
kangaroo.
the first thing you ever saw was kangaroo imagery. Like, you came out the womb and they were like, "Hey Tyler, look at this kangaroo, man." You're like,
I
sick.
always fucking knew what a fucking kangaroo was. I don't know.
That's
As long as I
true.
remember,
Since
I like
day
Yeah,
one.
see, to us they're exotic animals.
These are beautiful creatures. Yeah.
They're gorgeous
Oh,
animals.
God, I
they
love
are
them. Look
honestly
at 'em.
gorgeous animals. Grey kangaroos. Fuck a
clo-
red kangaroo. Fuck
The
those
easiest way to see one in the UK is by doing a load of illegal substances, but yeah, they're, they're pretty mad things, to be honest.
animals.
Do lots of
Yeah,
acid, you
no,
go to
Quite a
Asgard,
fan.
to the kangaroos.
You do
special
drug sequence.
You guys, we'll do like a 4 pillars, like when you guys all come to Australia one day eventually. Like go to Australia Zoo, see some kangaroos, and you can like feed and pat some kangaroos.
and get covered in horrible spiders and want to go home.
No, it's Australia Zoo. It's a zoo. You'll be fucking fine.
And then they go, "Hey man, there's fucking spiders all over the place, man. But we're Australians, so we got big
feed
shoes."
you the fucking spiders.
We're Australians. We got. That's why Australians have big shoes. So they can step on the big spiders.
Exactly. And I'm there with my
look
small
at
shoes, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
kangaroos. Imagine a shoe for a kangaroo. They'd be enormous.
That's true. They'd be
That's
massive.
huge shoes.
Can
yeah.
we get some big shoes and stick them on kangaroos while nobody's looking? And then somebody
some Assassin's Creed
and,
Reeboks?
and then we just put ourselves in earshot of when somebody notices and be like, "Hey man, why is there big shoes here?" or something. I don't know. It'd be
Big
fucking
branded
class.
Reebok with the Ubisoft logo plastered
Yeah, exactly.
all
Big
over it.
Ubisoft branded Reebok big
Kangaroos.
shoes.
Stop it. The kangaroos are not wearing fucking Reeboks.
And then people could be covering it online like the new Assassin's Creed probably going to be in Australia due to the Reeboks that we've seen online
Yeah.
being on kangaroo foot.
I reckon kangaroos have a bit of a sense for the drip, you know.
That's
They like to mix up their brands a bit. They've got a bit of Nike, they've got a bit of Fred Perry, they've got a bit of everything. I reckon they fuck with Gucci.
They got
you
some
know?
Chuck Taylor.
Recently, now this was something that was really funny. There's a $7,000 Gucci outfit that basically makes you look like an IRA member.
Oh, I
Right?
saw that.
It's
Eddie
money.
put that on Twitter.
Wait, how do I find this?
It's on Eddie's Twitter, I think.
If you go onto Eddie's Twitter, is it on Eddie's Twitter? I don't know where I saw it, but
Yeah,
I think
he posted it on Twitter
when did he post that then?
a little bit ago.
A little bit ago,
couple
okay,
days
so it'll be
ago.
here for weeks. Eddie's Twitter is a madness.
Couple days. Oh fucking hell. I'll
Does he
have to
tweet
scroll
the
down,
same
like-
amount as me?
No, not quite. Not quite.
I
actually.
think-
So still
I-
less than
it-
me. I don't tweet that much these days, to be fair.
Is
Yes,
it in
you
his
fucking
media
do, compared to
section?
everyone else.
Or...
I tweet
Well,
like a
if- I
pretty
guess-
average amount of time, I think. You
I
know?
guess so. I mean, basically, it's a Gucci outfit that makes you look like an IRA.
Yeah, it's like
member,
jeans with
and
grass stains on them.
I reckon that's the sort of vibe that kangaroos like to go for.
Oh wow, I'm
They love
looking at
it.
them now.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
why do that when I can just do that on the ground?
Why
Why pay so much money when I can just roll about in the dirt?
You can
and
do
get
a
the same
knee
effect?
slide in the mud and you'll be alright.
I don't understand the obsession of wearing clothes that look intentionally shit. It's like
And
they look
cost
shit
you
on
2 months
purpose.
of- 2-3 months of income.
Fuck
Mental.
that, man. I'll just go to the nearest field and throw myself to the dirt.
Probably look better as well, because at least you wouldn't then be apprehended by the authorities for looking like a part of the IRA.
They're £600.
600. I saw a $7,000 one somewhere.
That's
Yeah, I
even
thought
worse.
it was like $7,000.
It says 600 here.
I'll find the $7,000 one and pop it in the Discord thing for
Maybe
you
I saw
before we
two.
move on, because otherwise nobody's going to understand what the fuck we're on about, and that's never good.
It's just eco-washed organic denim pant. That's what it
Just the one.
says.
Just the one. Not
Okay.
two, never two.
I just found this article that Joe, founded Scarab, just posted, and the headline is Watch Dogs Legion unique recruit system
this is Eddie's.
mistakenly creates
Yeah, this was from
pedo
Eddie's.
character.
What did you say, James? Sorry.
It says Watch Dogs Legion unique recruit system mistakenly creates pedo character. Watch Dogs Legion's ambitious recruit system can mistakenly generate a minor sex offender, which could have been avoided with a small amount of effort.
Well, no, Ubisoft just wanted it in there.
That is
To be honest,
incredible.
I found a lady who worked in childcare and she had a dart gun, And I thought, I don't understand why you have that dart gun, but you carry it at all times.
How have they found out
kid.
that you can make nonce characters? What?
No,
Who's done this?
My surprise face is outstanding. You couldn't imagine how surprised I am, guys.
Watch Dogs Legion, you can find some really cracked procedurally generated characters.
Yeah,
Did you see
alright.
that image I sent?
Yeah, I did. That's fucking weird. Ethan, I want to know. This is the 4 pillars review of Watch Dogs Legion, which is just you, Ethan, because you're the only one willing to play it. The other 3 of us absolutely do not want to play it ever. So please give us the official 4 pillars review of Watch Dogs Legion right now.
Yes.
Okay, so Watch Dogs is a game that is supposed to be founded on the hacking aspect of a third-person shooter, but the hacking is the gimmick. It's what should promote it. This Players Anyone nonsense takes away from that a little bit, but it has quite a fair little bit of, I wouldn't say depth, but there's detail. The detail and depth, they feel different. One's just information thrown at you that means absolutely fucking nothing if it's not applied anywhere, and the other is actual depth. Sometimes you can see characters running that you recruit still going about as NPCs in the world. Yes, you can run them over, but they'll never fucking die. It's annoying.
Will they die if you put permadeath on?
Probably.
Okay.
Give it a go. Fine. No, don't give it a go.
No,
I mean,
I'm not going to give it a go, but
depends on whether or not you want to do that.
I appreciate the maybe information.
Maybe information, yes. So the gimmick is, it's both. It does well. For one, it can be fun for about 15 minutes, and then after that, you just sort of go, yeah, but it could have been better without this. And then you sort of think about what Watch Dogs is missing fundamentally to begin with, anyway, which is Watch Dogs 1. It was sold on its hacking, which was really quite shallow, to be fair, and the story had nothing to fucking do with it. Watch Dogs 2 just didn't take itself seriously enough. And Watch Dogs Legion finds a balance between taking itself too seriously and not taking itself seriously enough.
Well, I imagine that shift is pretty jarring.
And no, it's not jarring so much. It's probably the tone of the game itself isn't actually that bad. The open world, on the other hand, bloody hell, what do you want? Jesus, an old granny lady who's a hitman or a magician.
It's the funniest thing ever. I think Ubisoft have a really good sense of humour.
Watch Dogs Legion is a game that will appeal to people who play games to piss about.
Yeah,
I imagine it is games for the fun of the gameplay, and it has enough to offer there to keep it going for a bit. But after I played about 30 hours, I don't feel like I need to play more. I think 30 hours is reasonable.
So much time.
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't know. I played through the story. The story was decent. It could have been much better, but it at least presented a serviceable mystery. And it also presented, technology gone a bit mad. I don't understand why they ever marketed it as post-Brexit London when they don't mention Brexit once.
Well, because they want to capitalise on the politics, don't they? Classic Ubisoft.
I think that's the only reason they said
London.
it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. It doesn't have to be mentioned. As long as they mention it in the marketing, they're happy.
But it's a hyperbolic sci-fi fantasy set in a near future that wouldn't apply.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's why I always found it dumb.
It kind of makes no sense too, because like from what I've seen from the procedural generation stuff, the sort of population of London in Watch Dogs Legion looks pretty diverse, and so I would have thought that they would have touched on London's been forced out of its diversity because it's post-Brexit and people wanted to get rid of the immigrants, and so it's caused this revolution. There's this revolt between two different groups. That's what I thought they meant when they said post-Brexit London, was they were going to go for people that were all for Brexit and against Brexit, going in two different directions with the diversity of the population of London.
When I say the game doesn't mention Brexit, it doesn't even mention the ripple effects of Brexit. It doesn't. It does. That's what, like I said, the world is not the most deep thing ever.
And yet they were making a point to mention Brexit at the fucking event they revealed it at.
Yeah.
Come
I think
on,
we're getting wrapped up in one point here. There's a lot to unpack about this fucking game.
Yeah.
So things I sort of like. I mean, you've got some hand-to-hand combat sort of thing in it. It's very simple, but when you're playing it, it feels okay. That's all right. I quite like that, to be fair. The shooting, most characters carry tasers, because naturally everyone in London carries a taser. But every now and then you run into a random character packing an AK-47.
Lovely.
I only ever saw one knife, and it was in a fucking cutscene. It's fucking London.
Yeah,
that's true.
Knives are everywhere.
Well, I guess it's developed by a company that doesn't understand the world they're a part of. So
this is the biggest thing really for Watch Dogs Legion. it always brings up London. It always mentions London. It reminds you you're in London. And if you go about the world, you see loads of flags. If you go to shops, you see loads of T-shirts with British flags on them. And there's a Union Jack everywhere. It's just pasted all over the game. It's trying to remind you at all times that you're in London, to the point where it doesn't feel normal at any point. It doesn't feel like you're a part of the world. You just feel like a virtual tourist.
It's just, look, it's London. Look, it's England. Do you like England?
And
look,
it's
England.
emphasised a
Classic
little bit
England.
by the perception. It feels more like an Americanized perception of London than an actual version of London. And another thing about the open world that I wasn't too keen on is the tube system. So you got the underground. In Watch Dogs 1, you had like a Metrolink. You had a tram going about, didn't you? In this, it's just a fast travel station. You enter one and you hit where you want to go on the map, and then you're just there. Loading screen there. That's such a missed opportunity, because that's an entire layer of depth for the city.
They could have had an entire tube navigation and everything. Like, you go down through the underground, you find the right line. Like, I need to go on Circle, switch to Metropolitan. You know, I got to try and get to Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah,
that's half the fun of being in London, is just trying to navigate on the tube. Such good fun.
It's really half the fun.
Yeah, you've been to London. Did you not enjoy it?
I don't like it.
Really.
I love it. I love it so much.
Come on, it's home. That's what it feels great.
It's a missed opportunity on simplistic verticality that could have added so much depth to the world.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I felt like that when I'm in New York on the subway system. That's when you feel like you're at home. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a local. I'm fucking
New York
subway. That's different. But London, I was like, I mean, yes, yeah, whatever.
London Underground shows every aspect of English culture.
The classic tube map and everything. Oh, it's so classic. I
love it. I'll tell you what.
Guys need to come on the Manchester Metrolink. That's
never in my life, never gonna happen. I feel like the
crackheads are magical. They're like unicorns, except real.
The reason. No, they're seeing unicorns. The reason I don't think I cared for the London tube system was because I didn't navigate it myself. James just did it all. Whereas like New York, I had to figure out myself. That's why you sort of feel like satisfied with it. Whereas like if I was up to me to figure it out, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, I know my way around. I can figure this shit out. I get that. But James did it all, so I'm just like following him. So
but it's also I just love how efficient of like a system it is as well. Like how you can go from one side of London to the other so fucking quick as well. From like all of these landmarks. Like it's actually so fucking crazy to me that
the London
that's a system they
definitely
have.
It's nicer than the subway in New York. You feel like you're gonna get fucking
it's definitely nicer.
Stabbed in New York.
It's definitely nicer, but that's the charm of New York.
Depends
subways.
where you are.
Is it like
in London?
That's why I sort of love the New York subway, because it is so cheap and fast to get around, and
you do feel like you're gonna die on occasion. But
and you feel like you're gonna die. But
the trams are like those weird, like they look like they're made out of fucking tin foil. Like,
it's like they're just gonna cripple if they even
tap
against.
I feel like I don't have the full picture of this conversation, considering
I miss the New York subway. I just miss New York, to be honest. What a fucking amazing city.
It is a brilliant city. The atmosphere is.
It looks like the kind of place where you could like piss in a bin and feel at home. It just
exactly.
To be fair, I miss the UK a lot. Like fuck. I mean,
I don't want to change places.
All the temporarily. All the fucking boys are in the UK. Like I fucking miss the boys.
Yeah,
I miss the lads.
It's an epicenter of the boys.
That's very true.
Like all my online friends are there. Like, I mean, there's a couple in Australia and a couple in the US, but pretty much everyone is in the UK.
So, UK based,
So I miss the boys.
Right now, everybody doesn't wish that they were in the UK. But
I mean, honestly, I just wish everyone was here, because he is great. He is open. He is good.
There's Huntsman over there.
Dude, we're COVID free.
I don't even care. I'd rather have fucking COVID than have a Huntsman sitting near me.
You'd rather have COVID than
it's the same
guys, I want
thing,
COVID.
I'd rather have the COVID-19.
Who gives a shit, man? You know what I mean?
Man. I really miss...
To be free of COVID, I would fucking go up and kiss that spider. I don't even care.
Nah.
Get rid of this fucking shit.
Dude, Huntsman,
you don't have to do it, man.
They are the most horrible looking fucking spiders. They can jump.
Who cares? Whack it off.
I don't want
it's
that
not
on
going
me.
to do anything.
Maybe
It's not going
if
to
you
do
ask them
anything.
nice enough, they'll dance as well, and then that'll be magical. Just seeing a huntsman doing a dance, that'll be fantastic.
Huntsman spiders fill me with fear.
Oh my god! Stop
All spiders fill me with a sense of dread.
Stop
to be honest.
it!
Just the word.
Huntsmen are the worst. They're the worst.
Just slap the bitch. Slap the bitch.
No, because then it'll fucking goo about. It'll turn into some disgusting gooey mess, and it's just like, fucking end of life.
Oh my god! Just don't go near them, and you'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I don't want to go in. It'll probably want to come near me though. They're always
It
like,
won't.
oh yeah,
It won't.
I want to
Spiders like to
fucking
avoid
walk
people.
around.
You're rarely dealing with huntsmen in fucking Brisbane. Just don't go to like Melbourne or Sydney and you'll be fine. Just stay
I'll
in
make
Brisbane.
sure not to.
Beaches, the sun, freedom. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. This is the best place to be right now in the world. This is the best place to be in the world right now.
Go on a nice hike.
It's amazing. And then you see some like wild kangaroos and koalas and shit. I'll fucking
then have
show
a
you around. It'll
fight.
be brilliant.
And then you fuck them up.
No, you're not going to
kangaroos.
fight. Leave them alone.
I'm going to find a red kangaroo and I'm going to kick him in the
Why
fucking
do you?
teeth.
Why do? What? No, I
Yeah.
know this is a bit weird coming from me, but why do we have to fight everything?
Don't know. You
Just
got
out of curiosity.
gotta show
I've
your
got a lot
dominance.
of pent up rage from being in lockdown. I just want to fight a kangaroo.
Are you guys in lockdown again? What the fuck happened?
Oh, we're in
We
lockdown.
are.
Not yet. Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
no, you see, COVID's
Why?
waiting
It
until
did nothing
Thursday.
the first time. It's not going to do anything this time. Just
Well, I
fucking
mean-
wear it out. You guys are fucked. It's not. It doesn't matter anymore. You're just fucking with people's mental health that aren't going to die from COVID, but they're going to get COVID anyway. So may as well let them go. Your country is fucked. Just let it go now. At this point, what does lockdown going to do to you? But fuck with people's mental health at home.
COVID is fucking the UK. We're all fucked. We're all going to die from other things, probably, in the future.
Yeah.
We will.
But some of us will die now, and that's a bit shit.
The issue is, right, we came out of lockdown too early and we've gone back in too late.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's
Those
that,
are the
but
issues. They're just the
I
timings
never
with this
thought I'd
shit
be
is
sat here
ridiculous.
criticising Boris. What is this episode? Oh,
Oh
God.
man, it's just they just keep leaving everything, and then they like sit there and they're talking about it like, oh, here's the facts. It's like, yeah, but look, you're acting too late. Like this shit, like we should have gone into lockdown the first time way earlier than we did. We could have been in lockdown, you know, a month or two. We probably would have been in a much better situation than we are now. But like now they're just
Yeah,
trying to fix. It's like what are we doing? And like, how can you go into lockdown for a month, starting at the beginning of November, ending at the beginning of December, and being like, but we're gonna take a break because Christmas happens, and then after
Jesus.
Christmas we might go back into lockdown again. It's like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. COVID doesn't go away. Either we go into lockdown or we don't go into lockdown. Like, why are you
Yeah.
deciding, oh, because it's Christmas, we'll take a break from lockdown?
And that's the
Yeah,
main
no.
problem.
That's
that
absolutely
You
ridiculous.
reckon COVID goes on a Christmas holiday?
That indecisiveness
Apparently.
has cost so many lives.
It's absolutely
I also
ridiculous.
hear that it only
they need
comes
to
out
stick
after
to their
10 PM.
guns and do something.
So your lockdown's going to briefly end over Christmas. Like, I just don't
Yeah.
understand the point in it at all. You're already fucked. I just don't understand why it's happening. at
Yeah,
all.
no,
It's so
it's pretty fuck all.
strange.
It's
I
too
think,
late. You had
it's-
for a country to go on a full lockdown to beat COVID. You had your chance, and it had to be early. If you didn't do it early, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
You
Well, that's
set
okay,
ground
though.
rules for all your businesses
So
for social
stupid.
distancing, and to give people the opportunity to not catch it as best you can. But that's all you can do. You can't then lock people in their homes now. It's too late.
The thing is, those ground rules were never set anyway. They just go back on their word. Oh, I don't know,
it was-
really.
it's
Can
all
you go
ridiculous.
outside? Can you not? Oh, what are we doing? Oh, go out to eat to restaurants to help out.
Oh.
Oh, no, don't now. Don't do that. That's terrible. But
Honestly,
it's your
that's
fault
awful.
for
going
Sounds
out.
awful.
Like it's been
Honestly, that sounds
ridiculous. Like for the past few months, like we went into full lockdown in March. It probably lasted about 3 months where we were in full lockdown. Then they started to open places up, and everywhere's just been in fucking limbo. Like they haven't given you clear set of rules. It was just like, yeah, I guess we'll open pubs and restaurants, but like sort of just do whatever you want, but social distance and
I
wear
guess that's what
masks
happens
and-
when your fucking prime minister likes to speak.
It's a mess. Our government is
in
a fucking
metaphors.
mess in dealing with
shambles,
this.
man.
The first lockdown, we went in way too late, and then we came out too early. And the second one, if they wanted to try and deal with the second wave appropriately, they could have rectified the mistakes of the first one, but they fucking didn't. And they just
But they
left it
also-
until it was way too late and
it's
it already
also-
hit.
It's also too late anyway from your first lockdown. So you may as well have come out earlier from your first lockdown because it's already over. Like, when you've got tens of thousands a day, it's over, man. It's over. You're fucked. Like,
We're in
I'm
fucking
so,
fuck city right
so
now.
fucking grateful of where I live. I'm so grateful because our government, when we had our semi-lockdown, which isn't even as... Melbourne was as bad as you guys. Melbourne got bad. They had a second wave and they got fucking locked down. But they had, like, active cases got to 7,000, went into full lockdown, and they're back down. We're back down to, I think, less than 200 active cases in the whole country again. When we got we got down to 140 in the whole country. Melbourne went fucked. They got to 7,000. And we're, like, at max, you're getting 700 a day. And they just locked down for the last 2 months. And then... they've dropped down again. But they, like, that's how many you have to have. Like, only a couple thousand, and then full lockdown, you can beat it. If you've
Yeah,
got
that's
10,000 in one day,
exactly what
it's
should happen.
over. Hey, you may as well be open.
I
You
don't
may as well be
understand,
open.
like-
It's over. It's too many people. Like us
Australia
now.
seems to be the only place that just dealt with it properly. Everywhere
And New
else
Zealand.
is just
And New Zealand.
fucked.
And
yeah,
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand.
New Zealand dealt with
yeah,
it
yeah.
great.
And New Zealand
So-
have less than us, so
weird.
they were able to get it to 0 quicker. We got to 140 when they got to 0, but then one place fucked up. But we're back down to under 200 now active. And, everywhere's
it's just a
doing
horror
well
show.
again. We're all open. And the government, but the government gives us rules. They made, and my state government, Queensland government, did, I think, a really great job of keeping Queensland like it's its own country, where our borders were close to other states, and still are in a lot of ways. We're not letting other state, like people in from other states. You have to be a resident of the state, and everything here is open. You can travel throughout the state as you want. We can go to sporting events. Our city hosted all the major like seasons of sports in the country because we're a major population, and lots of like the teams from other states that were in lockdown, like Victoria, were staying up here and everything like that. Like we're running. They did what they had to do. They set rules. And when we reopened, they created a roadmap. This is when this opens, and these are the rules. This is when this opens, and these are the rules. There's rules for every business. You know what you can do. You got to sign in when you go into to eat somewhere. You don't when it's a takeaway. Like there's rules to gyms. There's rules to everywhere, and it's very clear. The Queensland Health are all over it, and maybe there's mistakes we've made. Maybe there's mistakes the Australian government's made. But compared to the rest of the world, holy fuck! I'm hearing this shit. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about? It's insane.
It's insane. It really is
The
fucking
UK's
insane.
done astronomically.
We have
bad.
so many deaths and cases coming in. Like, it's the highest it's ever been, I think, at this point.
And nobody cares,
Cases
man.
are the deaths
Like, it's
are projected to be.
It's,
but you know how it goes.
It's absolutely insane. So
It's just fucking
Alright,
disgusting.
so these are
It's
the
it's ridiculous.
these are the,
incompetence at the
I'll
highest
give
level.
you Australia's stats. Australia's stats today. So today we had 6 new cases in total.
wow.
Our active cases right now are 175 active in the whole country.
Yeah.
In hospital there's 17. ICU there's one on a ventilator. Total deaths in the whole country 907 people have died from COVID. We've done. There's 25 million people in the population. We've done 8.8 million tests. There's recovered is 25,336. So in total cases the whole country's ever had is 26,200 or 26,500. 26,500 total.
Yep, that's the past
And
hour in the UK.
There was no cases today in Victoria, none in South Australia, none in Tasmania, none in ACT, none in Northern Territory, one in WA, one in Queensland, 4 in New South Wales. And most of the time, I can guarantee you the one in Queensland will be return hotel quarantiner. So like most of the new cases we get anyway are just people that return from overseas and have to, it's by law in Australia and New Zealand, you have to spend 2 weeks in a hotel paid for yourself in quarantine. The government was paying for it for a few months because like people were trying to get back in the country. But then after a certain amount of time, they're like, well, you've known you're supposed to come back, so now you're paying for it. So you have to be in a hotel for 2 weeks before you can go back, and then they'll test you anyway. So most of the cases that come in anyway are locked down already, so they're not spreading it anywhere. So that's how our government's handled it. Whereas like in America, you can just go back into America from another country and it's fine.
Yeah.
In Australia and New Zealand, you
Yeah.
have to be in a hotel for 2 weeks. You cannot go out until then. And that's
I mean, I
we're
think
protecting our
America-
population.
America's got like a mass amount of people that like don't believe it exists and that don't believe in masks and stuff like that as well.
So
Oh,
does
there's,
So
there's
does the
people
fucking
here. There's
UK.
idiots here everywhere. There's people here that think that too.
It seems
but,
like
I mean, there's-
America, there's more. Well, it's because there's a larger population, I assume, in America. But also, Americans are
Yeah.
fucking retarded anyway. So,
America's also got the spotlight on them for everything.
Honestly,
they fucking
American
do,
That's
people
true.
are so
Just because
silly.
and they've got a president
Yeah,
that
it
also
doesn't-
pretty
it's
much
not
doesn't
around.
believe it's happening as well. So you know,
Oh my
there's
God.
that on top of that.
Oh, fucking hell. Goddamn elections this week. Holy fuck. That's going to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
shit show.
What a
Yeah.
fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, so talking about numbers for this as well, I'm looking at the UK, right? And so the new cases set to like one day. So yesterday, the new cases in the United Kingdom is 21,900.
Oh my fucking god.
And
Yeah.
That's almost as much
most
as
of
we've
those-
ever had here, ever.
most of those are isolated just to England. England itself has, in one day, had 18,864 new cases.
Yeah, forget Scotland, Wales.
Scotland and
Ireland.
Wales. Scotland and
Northern
Wales.
Ireland.
Scotland only had like 1,100. Wales 1,300. It's still a lot, but like
That's so many. That's
Nowhere
so many. That's more than
near
we've ever had in
England.
a day here. That's more than we've ever had in one day in Australia.
new cases in England 18,000 in a day. That's insane.
I think 800 is the most in one day we've ever had, and that was like we shut that shit down very fast after that.
As for deaths, that's on the rise as well.
Yeah, deaths is.
On the 31st, the number I'm looking at is 326. That's just not good.
Wow.
It's ridiculous incompetence.
Oh my God.
At the
How
highest
much
level
do you reckon
from government.
cases have
I'm
gone
not
up
afraid to fucking say that.
because of Halloween parties and stuff?
Oh, probably because
I
that's so
don't-
dumb as well. Like they were like, "Oh, well, they're gonna lock down, but we'll do it
know
after
what?
everyone's had a Halloween party."
You
So it's
Don't
like, well,
you know
lock
what?
down. Why are you locking down? Why are you locking down?
If
It's not
COVID
gonna do
wants to do
anything.
some natural selection, I'm down for that. But I mean, it's just such a horrifying number to look at. So many people are fucking dying.
But then you've got
it's
to worry about
terrifying and-
the mental health of lockdown and what that's doing to people's lives and livelihoods and businesses. Like you're not helping the people with COVID, so they're dying anyway. So it's too late. They're already dying, and then you're also going to fuck with people's livelihoods and their mental health. Like how many people have committed suicide throughout the world? It's got to be
Fucking
record breaking.
loads.
so
I
many,
think
yeah,
in-
for sure.
I think in like I only know like Australian numbers, but I think in September down in Melbourne, because Melbourne's been in lockdown for the last 3 months, and they're just reopening now because they're having most days of 0 cases now, but they didn't open until it was like 0 cases a day, not like 5,000, 0, and I think in September they had more suicides in young men in September than all of 2019. Like, it's fucked.
Male
Like, you gotta
suicide
think about
at
that shit
highest
as well.
rate in 20 years.
Yeah,
in the UK at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's fucking it's absurd the amount of damage this is doing on all levels, because there was no decisiveness when it was needed, and now there's flip-flopping between being open, being shut. What do you fucking want?
Oh, this is the dumbest lockdown.
nothing.
This is the dumbest
It's-
fucking
I
lockdown. They're
don't-
like, let's close everywhere for 4 weeks. Like,
But
what?
they'll leave schools open, and
I just don't
and you
know.
know, schools with disgusting children in them who are dirty and grubby and all that shit.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you won't be able to have like dinners with family, but if you have a work dinner, that's allowed.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. I mean, if I had relatives that I wanted to eat dinner with, I mean, I'd probably not be happy, but there you go.
It's fucking mental.
This is just
I'm
an
just looking
insane
at- I was looking
situation
at
we're
this
in right
thinking-
now. I
As
don't
long
even
as
know
it
what they're trying
qualifies
to
as
do.
work, you're allowed it. It's fine.
What are they trying to do? Like, I don't understand what the
Make
government's
the country look
point
good.
is
I don't
here.
know.
It's because
What are
they're
they
not
trying to
helping
fix, though?
anybody. They're not even funding the NHS. So that's like is already fucked. Like there's way too many people. I don't know what they're trying to do. I just don't
It's
understand what they're
damage
trying
control.
to do.
I guess damage control to make us look like we know we know that we've got it under control or something. Like
But we
it's-
don't. Yeah.
We do
fucking
not
This is
at
not
all.
good.
Yeah,
Trying
it
to
does
save
look more
face.
like they're trying to save face than save people, or try and
But
help
let's be honest,
people to
when
cope
does the
and
British
deal with it.
government do anything other than try to save face these days? They don't do fucking anything.
I can't remember the last time we had a leadership or a government that actually, well, I mean, probably
Made a
not in my
difference.
lifetime, you know, having anybody that actually did anything that actually helped anybody.
Yeah,
Um,
we've had none of
it's-
that.
It's ridiculous, and it's, you know, people would like to think, you know, if you voted for Labour they'd help, but I don't think that would make a difference either. I think any
Scary.
government you're going to get in this country at this point are just there's too much going on as well. Like, you could even get like a leader or a prime minister, whatever, that wants to do good and genuinely wants to help, that in the time that they're prime minister probably wouldn't be able to make a great deal of change anyway. It's like
Yeah.
you need government after government that are willing to put in the work to make changes and help people continuously over, like, you know, like a decade or more of having
Yeah.
these continuous parties in power to be able to deal with things. But you don't get that, and you just get these fucking awful people constantly. And
Like
even when
shit
there are people
coalitions.
that like want to do stuff, they're just not. There's not enough. Like, it's impossible. It's so difficult to try and sort anything out, and we're just stuck in this fucking situation where
And the
people are
House of
just
Commons
fucked over
is like
constantly.
it's full of clowns as
Absolute
well.
shit
Like
show.
it is just a fucking babbling mess of just retards just going.
Oh, it's insane.
Shouting around.
Trying to one up each other and just they're stuck in their little fucking bubble. And like, I don't think anyone can see the bigger picture of like what's going
Probably
on.
because they all get fucking off their nut in the House of Commons. There's a fucking bar there. They're just like, oh yeah, get drunk, shout at the boys, and then we go home.
I know.
We just had a state election in Queensland over the weekend, and I didn't even look at the results because I was like so sure that our premier was going to be re-elected. Like the way she's handled the COVID and everything, I was like, there's no concern. She's just done amazing. And I just changed. I was like, yeah, she won. And I was like, good, thank God. I was like, nothing weird happened in this election. You sort of just knew going in. You're like, there's one decision here. There's one decision here, and it's like, I mean, you maybe, you know, the Labour, the Liberal government had a good leader and everything, but I know this is good. I know Labour's great and are doing a really good job, for the most part. So fucking let's stick with that. And I don't want to, like, and hearing about you, I feel awful for you guys. Like, it just sounds fucking awful. Like, I'm so comfortable with my state government.
Yeah, it could be
worse.
Well
fucking
we could have Donald Trump versus Joe Biden going on over here, and thank God we don't, you know, have that. I'd say
what
you're not far off, to be fair, James. You're not too far off.
We do have Boris Johnson doing some bits and bobs, but I think if I had to pick between Boris Johnson and Donald Trump, I mean, it would be Boris Johnson. I think that's a pretty easy.
I mean, I would too.
I mean, Boris Johnson, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't choose Trump, that's for sure. But if you told me the other option is Boris fucking Johnson,
I just blow my brains out there.
Yeah, I just
right on the spot.
Look, I don't think I mean, he's not the guy to deal with this situation. Obviously, of course, he's just not. And I don't think he should have been prime minister at all. To be honest, like he just doesn't. I don't think
he's a buffoon.
Theresa May was better at dealing with shit than he is. I think she would have done a better job dealing with this situation, to be honest.
The reason why I voted
didn't Boris
Labour
go
is
like, I'm still going to shake everyone's hand, and then got
he's
COVID?
such a
fucking idiot,
man.
How fucking stupid!
Like, I'm still shaking everybody's hand, like, and then he just goes and gets fucking COVID, and he's like,
"This is the way we do things in the British government."
This conversation is this entire podcast is going to get shaken up when we get around to talking about Assassin's Creed.
We haven't even started talking about Assassin's Creed yet.
Oh, I'm just fucking mad. I'm just fucking mad. If we start talking about Assassin's Creed, I'm just going to say it's shit. Oh my god, fucking
James is angry about fucking politics. We're just getting, you know...
It's not even about the fact that the man that represents our country is a fucking half-wit.
And it's like he's not like a Donald Trump idiot, where like he's a different kind of idiot.
Where it's almost funny and comical.
Yeah, because Donald Trump is like, oh, you can laugh at him. Boris Johnson, I just want to fucking punch him in the face. Like, how are you this dumb? Like, how are you this fucking incompetent? I just don't understand.
Have you heard the
so
awful stuff he said as well? Like, the awful shit he said about, like, minorities and LGBT and stuff like that. Like, it is just genuinely disgusting.
He said some awful shit over the years,
like he said...
somehow he still managed to...
There's all that on top of it. But then there's, like... And obviously we could go into that and talk about how, like, you know, he's a fucking horrible human being, probably. But then he's just just as a leader, what he actually does and, like, you know, what he's actually doing as prime minister is just a fucking shambles.
I never like that alone. Anything good as prime minister anyway.
Our prime minister fucked up the bushfire situation so bad. Like, he was in a terrible position. He was like, oh man, if there's an election, he was fucked.
That's
like, Australia hated him. But then, like, the way he's handled COVID, I mean, could he have done better? For sure. But also, you look at the rest of the world, you're like, he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, he did a great job. He really did a great job. Like, I'll take him over your prime minister and the US president any day of the week. And he's definitely not that great. Yeah. But I will take him any day over Boris or Trump. For sure.
Fucking Boris. I can't believe the man's name is Boris. Boris.
Insane.
Fucking
the
Boris.
World is on fire.
So generic.
This is absolutely
so generically British.
Actually, I've got a question. Before we move off of politics, I have a question for everybody.
Please.
Okay. We don't need to turn it into a debate, but I just want to know everyone's thoughts. Who do you think is going to win the US election?
Trump.
Frankly, I'm still hoping that somebody takes the initiative and just does something ridiculous to get my mind off of it.
I'm, and people hate me because there's fucking plenty of Trump supporters. I'm so hoping Biden wins. I'm so fucking hoping Biden wins. I genuinely think. I'm just mentally prepared. Like, all the polls, everything I'm looking at is like Biden's gonna win. But then I'm just like, they're always wrong. And well, when it involves Trump, they're always wrong. So I'm just I'm 100% mentally prepared that Trump will win, and that'll be the end of it. So I've accepted that already.
I think Trump's going to win.
I would love Biden to win.
I'm hoping against hope.
Biden's a
Joe
fucking
Biden
idiot, but Donald Trump's a fucking idiot as well.
I used to love Joe Biden, but he's just so old.
I just want to see Biden win.
But he's also said some fucked up shit that people like to ignore because he's not Donald Trump. But like, he's also said some shit as like the old guy that he is.
He said some ridiculous stuff.
The stuff that he did with Obama.
He said ridiculous stuff out of probably being stupid.
But he's done finger guns in front of a crowd. You know, he's cool.
You know
He's a
what?
cool guy.
Fucking those
I don't
fucking presidential debates and everything that they're doing during the election, everything was such a fucking mess. That
They're
first
just
one they
meme
did,
material.
oh my god, it was incredible. It's so funny, which it shouldn't be, but like it is. I just can't wait until one day, at some point, like there'll be a normal fucking US election where there'll be
Have you
just
seen,
regular shitty politicians talking
Well,
about
we might be dead
policies.
by that point.
Well,
Like-
that won't
Well, that's
happen
what the-
because
that's
Kanye
what the
West
vice-
is running.
Oh my god.
Have you
That was
seen
the- that was
his?
the-
Fucking let that happen.
Have you
I
seen his
could not.
interview?
I could not get through 10 minutes of Kanye's podcast with Rogan. I was like, I listened to 10 minutes. I'm like, I have to turn this fucking shit off. This guy's a fucking idiot. This guy's a nutcase. I was out in the shower and God told me
That was
I am
crazy.
going to be the leader of the free world. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, and you're not going to be the leader of anything. You're
If
fucking stupid.
If Kanye West wasn't a celebrity, he would be he'd have to get fucking mental
be in a
help.
psych
Like,
ward. He'd be
he's
in a psych
insane.
ward.
He needs someone to fucking help him. He needs therapy or something. Like he's actually like mentally fucking deranged.
He says some coherent things in that. I was listening to the podcast yesterday. He does strike on some pretty intelligent sounding things, but most of it
course,
is him
he's
just
not-
stumbling over concepts in his head
Right.
and trying to answer Joe's questions when he doesn't even understand the substance of the question in the first
But he
place.
also never answered a single question, Joe. I was like,
No,
Joe
no.
goes, you're talking about being president of the United States. And Joe goes, what's your policies? Like, what's your ideas? He's like, what do you mean? It's like the dude he just
Yeah.
wants to be the president.
Yeah, yeah.
The
What do you mean?
dude just wants to be the president.
He
Maybe
just
There's
he
thinks
no
realizes-
concept of what he's going to do. He's just like, I'm just going to change things.
Maybe
Fuck
he
you,
realizes
man.
that the
You
president
don't- he
is just
only
a
wants to be
stupid role in
president-
the first place.
He only wants to be president for the idea of being the president. So because I'm so great. Because he thinks he's so fucking special. He thinks he's so great, and it's validation for how special and great he is. That's all it is. He has no concept or idea of policy and what he's going to do. He's fucking stupid.
Most of what he was saying in the podcast was nonsense and rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, and the rabbit holes keep getting smaller. But there was some times where I was like, you know, that was a pretty good like point he made there. You know, that's something that I find myself agreeing with.
As interesting as those points may be, you still wouldn't want to see him as president.
Well, yeah.
Oh, fucking
A
stupid.
No,
broken
100%,
clock is right
no.
twice a day. You know, you can
Yeah.
throw as many concepts out there as you want, and some of them will sound coherent.
That's a great
others
saying.
will
I've
sound-
never heard that one. A broken
Have you
clock
not?
is right twice a day.
Have you really
I've not
never heard
I like
that?
Have you not?
You can have that
I
one for
haven't.
free.
Oh, thanks so much. I like that. I'll use
That's
that.
a
I'm going to use
classic.
You'll
that.
be using it in every single
use it.
sentence now.
I'll use it at least 3 times this week for sure.
Yes, please.
Ah,
It could become your new thing.
Yeah, no, maybe not, but yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Noise.
Politics.
There
All
you go.
right.
There's
all right.
politics
Let's-
chat.
I feel like we
Hey,
need like
man.
a quick 2-minute buffer before we talk about Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Like, let's have like a breather.
I was
or
gonna
something, you know what I
segue
mean? It's
into
like
it with that whole broken clock thing. Like, hey man, broken clock is right twice a day. Talking about that, Ubisoft's bringing out a new game.
halftime. Like, hey James, let me do the fucking transitions between topics.
There's been a spanner in the
Well,
works
first
been
of,
thrown in
first of
here.
all, if I would have made a transition to that point, I'm like, speaking of broken clocks, remember Arno's broken clock?
That's just
Well, there's
a
another
classic.
game coming out from that series of video games, and they're going to the Viking period.
What is this show? What the fuck?
How is this a
Fuck is the
popular
Viking
show?
period?
How is this? Oh my god!
Just want to remind
Yeah.
everybody, if you haven't already liked the podcast on YouTube, hit that like button. I've realised we don't say it enough during the actual episode and nobody reads the chat. So,
'Cause we're
if
never-
you hit
yeah,
that
we're
like
not
button,
live.
we promise we will continue the podcast. Thank you, and let's go.
And good night.
If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go.
And let's go.
So far, this has been a bumpy ride. We've spoken about next generation of consoles, Cyberpunk's delay, Watch Dogs Legion. Well, that was mostly me.
And then someone
Fucking
got into
politics.
COVID.
And now we're going to
politics.
talk about
We
Assassin's
segued
fucking
from
Creed.
post-Brexit London into post-Brexit COVID.
reality.
This podcast has been jam-packed with things. It's
Hey.
amazing.
Utter
Isn't it
pain.
great value for money? And by that I mean it's free.
It's free,
Yeah.
But
but
also
you
can
get
pay.
you get double this for just $1. For just $1, you
Isn't
get
that
double.
incredible?
if you want to pledge to As Always, just go to the fucking Patreon. Come on.
Exactly. Head over to patreon.com/as always. You get more.
That shows how good
for
it is.
just
I don't get
$1.
anything out of that, but I'm just saying, go to it
It's because you
and
know the
support these
quality.
lads.
Yeah.
Well, I do know the quality. I do.
Exactly.
So this is supposed to be the 4 pillars Assassin's Creed Valhalla preview show. We better fucking start talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, it better be
Yeah.
a
Yes,
larger
so.
percentage of the podcast. At least 51%, I think.
It's the honey dick.
Yes. I guess we need to talk about Assassin's Creed because so far, after that politics thing, we almost got onto the topic of Boris Johnson probably licking windows.
It's true,
and he probably does.
Yeah.
But
I want to talk. I want to hear George's thoughts first because George hasn't been on the podcast in a while. He missed the one a few weeks ago.
I did.
And I've talked to James and Ethan at length on podcasts and videos about Valhalla. So George, I'm really interested where your head's at. What are your predictions? How do you feel about Valhalla? Go on a rant. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so I'm if you don't already know, I'm sort of not interested in watching trailers and gameplay videos anymore because I think it ruins the experience of a game. I'm doing the same with Cyberpunk. I'm doing the same with Valhalla. Also because I don't really necessarily care about Valhalla that much at all. But on the whole, I actually think it looks pretty fun. I saw the updated model of Eivor, because obviously the first gameplay we got, she looked a bit strange, and there were these new screenshots, and I think they've really done some good work on the facial models and animations and stuff like that. But on the whole, I honestly think this game is just going to be sort of... It's going to have sprinklings of amazing storytelling through Derby and really nice world building here and there. But I reckon still it's going to be a little bit oversaturated with the... Oh, this game's an RPG. Look at the epic gear you can get. And look, fire elemental stuff and gods. And there's going to be far too much of that for my liking. You know, I'm really sick of it these days. I can't stomach it anymore. I can't stomach these stupid boss battles. I can't stomach this fucking stupid RPG system. I probably won't care about most of the characters in the game. It'll be fun, but it won't be anything that I'm really looking for Assassin's Creed, and it's going to be another wasted year, I think. Personally, I'd love to be proven wrong, but
I think right,
it's going to be
in
a bit
terms
silly.
of a lot of those things, I think with this game, it's difficult because it could go one way or the other, but I think they've like sort of compartmentalized a lot of it. So like for example, like previous 2 years we had Curse of the Pharaohs and we had Fate of Atlantis as DLCs, whereas this time we don't have a mythological DLC per se. There's one based on Irish folklore and stuff, but it's not like going to a mythical realm, and so they've taken that and like obviously you've got Asgard and stuff, and it's in the you can go to the seer in your settlement if you want and explore that. And they're also not open plains Derby set as well. They're set missions, so you have like a mission I guess in Asgard and like Niflheim or whatever, and like they're set missions, so that sort of exists, but like you don't ever have to touch it. And I think as well, like one thing I really like as well is with the skill system. Obviously, and there's like two sides to it as well, where like obviously they've got flame weapons, poison effects, and all this stuff, but it's all tied to skills, so you could just never buy them, which is what I'm gonna do. Like I want my build and my setup to be as grounded and realistic as possible, and I think that will still be viable to play with.
I hope so.
There's that element to it where I'm like, they've done enough that they've like got that stuff in there for people that love like it in Origins and Odyssey, but then there's also you can pull back from it if you want as well, and I quite like that element to it. It's almost like they've tried to be like, how can we allow for both to sort of live together.
I do love about Valhalla is the assassin imagery they've been sort of bringing back with the whole, you know, Basim and stuff like... Is that his name? Basim?
Basim.
And, like, you know, they're showing Eivor wearing a hood more and all that cool stuff. I really love that. I'm a big fan of that, and they need to just do more of that. Just get rid of mythology. Give me more stuff that made fucking 8-year-old me fucking scream. Please.
And I think that with Derby doing this as well, like I have no worries at all for just narrative and characters. I think I'm gonna love the characters, the whole host of side characters, because that's what Derby always does.
You know what? I take back what I said about not liking characters. I'm actually quite confident I'll like them.
Yeah, and I think that the only Assassin's Creed games outside of like 2 and Brotherhood, because they already had those set up and they were great side characters, are like Revelations and Black Flag. Are the only like set of side characters where I'm like, I absolutely love these characters so much.
Oh, Black Flag! Think about
Black
the
Flag
side
is just
characters of
insane.
Black Flag.
They're so compelling.
Black Flag's built on its characters.
Yeah, and it's like all like that's what Derby does. Like he writes characters. And I can already tell looking at these characters. I'm like, we've got Basim, we've got Sigurd, we've got Sigurd's wife. I forget her name. And obviously you've got like fucking
Ranvi.
yeah, that's the one. And you've got like Alfred, obviously, like when you encounter these political characters, and I'm sure there'll be more. But it's like they're all there, and I already know them. Like I already sort of know that these characters exist. I'm like, we're gonna build a bond with each of these. I just know it. And there's that clip in one of the newest trailers where you've got Eivor and Bassam sitting around the fire. And I think that's going to be a really poignant moment in the story where I think Eivor's very conflicted about which direction to go in, and Bassam says something like there's one. He says something about like being there's always a family that'll never let you down or something, or never turn their back on you or something like that. And like I feel like that might be the moment where Eivor sort of is pushed to joining the Assassins almost, like officially. And it's just like a really nice moment.
I just want to play as an assassin.
And
If we don't get those robes, we need to get those robes. What was that from the? Is it a screenshot from the DLC or the concept art where it showed Eivor wearing like white robes with like shoulder pads and shit?
Is it the one where he's like the
sitting on the wall,
sitting across, looking across at a city?
Yeah, it's when he's like on the
from
wall.
From the Paris DLC.
Yeah, that one.
Let me have a look.
Yeah,
see
it
if
looks
I can
really
find
nice.
It was
And
very reminiscent
what
of
about
like
that?
Edward.
Like there's some robes that Eivor wears in one of the trailers. I think it's one that female Eivor is wearing, which is like it just looks like Ezio's Revelation robes.
They look very similar, don't they? Like
Yeah.
with the points at the end, like the robes sort of go into a point, like some Revelations,
I love that.
classical
I love
Assassin's
that.
Creed robes.
Oh,
Looks
we
really
need
nice.
pointy hood.
With
we
the
need
assassin
pointy hood.
symbol on the red sash around the belt
Yes.
as well.
Oh,
It's
give me that imagery.
really
please.
nice. And it's just like those things is like they're all there. And what I'm just hoping for is that when we play this game, there is so much going on that we've not seen before in trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like there will be. And they're
Yeah,
just
I think
not
so.
marketing it. Because there's a lot going on. Like Darby said as well, like, you know, in your settlement, you can buy a bunch of different upgrades for different buildings that give you access to different storylines. And one of those is the Hidden Ones Bureau. And when you get that, you unlock your target map of the Order of Ancients. All of which have, you know, the more important ones, you're going to find them in city areas, these more built up areas. And like, some of them will have these like set pieces around them, where some more will be like, you know, some assassination contracts from like the Ezio trilogy, but then you've got these other ones where you're going to have like crowds, and they're going to be people that might be talking on a stage, and you have to plan your assassination accordingly. And all of them have confessions. Some of them might be small confessions, but all of them have confession cutscenes
They've
as well.
brought back the confessions.
And he said there's like 3
I'm
or 4
sorry.
dozen
Were you hoping for a
targets.
confession?
Yes, out of context, Ezio trilogy quotes.
Amazing. That's incredible. But that's all really cool. And like, obviously there'll be a few of them that are done through the main story as well. And I talked about this a bit last podcast, but to get like the endings, like he said as well, like they've made sure all of the endings happen in a specific order as well, so you're not accidentally doing them out of order like you did in Odyssey. And you don't have to kill. You don't have to kill every Order of the Ancients target to get the ending. Like, you just kill the ones through the main story and you get the ending. But obviously you got the side stuff as well. So I just like that structuring better, and I think there's a lot going on there, and that's really cool. As well as obviously like the hidden ones, bureaus and stuff that you can find around the world, like the abandoned ones. You got these notes, and Darby said he wrote them all in his tweet to me.
Legend.
So that was.
I get this feeling that there's gonna be like sections of story where you really get into it, and like you sort of in a way forget that you're playing like a newer Assassin's Creed game, and then you come out of it, and then you get a massive fucking XP bar going up and fucking new quest, and it's just gonna be like, oh, I'm not playing old Assassin's Creed, fuck.
And then there's a boss, and it runs over, and it's like 3 times the size of you, and he's got a big poison axe, and he starts swinging it around in circles.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, let's not do that.
I'll put a couple of concerns to bed there.
Okay.
Most of the quest structure is handled in a more organised open world sort of thing. So you'll have side content in the open world, but it won't be tracked on the quest log to bother you and sort of coerce you into doing it through that OCD sort of nightmare that was Odyssey.
Yeah.
So instead, you find them on the map. They won't be marked. Maybe they'll be marked when you get close, like a little bit blip.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, that is how it is. Then you approach it, and then you can choose whether or not, based on that first interaction, as to if you want to continue doing it or whatever.
Okay.
You walk away; it will be marked really subtly on the map, but it won't be mentioned in your quest log to clog that up. So if you don't want to do it, you can just ignore it, because if you zoom out like a little, it's gone. There's no obnoxious quest markers. There's no stupid side quests. There are a few like quests, like main quests, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may get, it may tell you that a couple of quests have been accepted and they're opened, and they're very much so there's just the narrative. It's not like any extension onto the side content or anything like that. So you'd have to worry about quest completed all the time because it won't mark it as a quest. And the best part about this is without the quest there, it's not something in the corner of the screen telling you exactly what to do. So you don't know what to do. You have to figure it out a lot as well. And you have to figure out what exactly you have to do based on what's going on, what you've been told, and stuff like that. There are a few examples I can give. One is there was a little girl and she was stood by a tree. All the leaves had fallen but one. And her father was missing, and she, for some reason, had the logic of if this leaf falls, her father isn't coming back.
Okay.
Obviously, with that adult logic, Eivor knows that, her father is not coming back. So you can take the initiative and shoot that leaf from the tree, and then tell the child, and then basically tell the child your father's not coming back. You need to get on with your life. She goes back into her hut. She's 5. Why are you leaving her there? But okay. But the concept stands. There's nothing that tells you to shoot the leaf from the tree.
But you can.
It's just something that you can do to progress that story.
That's
I think
cool.
there's another thing you can do. It's cool that it's structured that way, and it feels a little bit more authentic and. At times it can be a bit silly. There are some silly examples, but because it's not in a quest, there's no expectation for it, and you can tell where it's usually going based on whether or not you're in a sewer where a crackhead asks for viper eggs. There's eggs, and that, to be fair, isn't that bad. What happens is you kill vipers, and you get the eggs. You bring them back. She asks for more. You go. They don't tell you where they are. You just go out, kill some, bring some back, and eventually she'll eat them all, fart, and then stink out an entire portion of a city.
Classic Assassin's
And
Creed.
She's like a mental.
Okay.
Well, it's more like a prankster, isn't it? It's not that absurd It's not like a really bad day from Odyssey.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just
Oh,
some sort of
God, no.
prankster. But there's a couple of. There's a couple of these world events that goof like that. There are a few that's serious as well. It's a nice balance. I think it should be more serious than whatever, but I've only played 9 hours worth of
Small
game, so I
portion,
wouldn't
yeah.
know.
Out of the side quests that you played, would you say the overall side quest quality is like pretty good?
It's just when we say side quests here, they're more like little world stories and world events. I think there are some like little optional proper quests that you will get.
Yeah.
Like those will show up for sure. As there was a couple, there was at least one in the demo, not one that you would trigger anywhere, but you'd trigger it as you're going through the stories. Like if you do this, make your life easier.
Yeah.
So it's like a
pretty
partner
simple
to the
usually.
story almost.
It's just to introduce you to concepts mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the world events, I think the quality is it's more based on tempering expectation. Like it's not. It's certainly better than Odyssey did, but the entire point is it's better organised and it gives you an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It also doesn't let you know exactly what it is, so there's a lot more varieties to be had there, and you won't know what it is until you're deep in doing it. And then you've got to figure it out. Okay. So you've got to apply yourself, you've got to apply your brain and make use of that observational skill that you have. Which is you just got to use your brain basically. It engages you. It's not mind numbing. And that's the primary thing. It just feels more involved. It doesn't feel like a checklist or something telling you simply what to do. Sure, the main quests may have a bit of that, not a checklist so much, but telling you what to do from here to there to there. But when it comes to this world content, I don't think it wants to be so linear. It wants to give you that. It wants to give you a reason to not switch off and just mindlessly kill stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously you won't know if that encounter is a boss fight or whatever. There could be locations. You could find like tombs and stuff. You could find little puzzles that you have to figure out to get some treasure thing. It's like a nice puzzle, really. It's the fun of doing the puzzle. It's probably more important than the reward at the end. Again, usually it's quite simple, but it's an environmental thing, so you've got to look around and really think about how could I do this. Oh, that's pretty simple, done. Or you can faff about for 20 minutes and then still not get it. But the answer is there. You have your little tombs where you can explore. There's a bit of parkour navigation in them. Again, doesn't tell you where to go. You just go in and hope for the best. And you get stuff like that, and then you have little dialogue interactions you can have with certain characters in city areas. You have your merchants and stuff like that. It feels like, and I'll say this in a light sense, it feels like they're trying to engage you. They're trying to get you to feel like you don't switch off. Like it's not about switching off. And just mindlessly following a trail of filler, doing the same stuff you do in bandit camps when not in a quest, but in a quest. It's none of that stuff. There's no checklist in bandit camps or whatever.
Thank God.
It's just trying to engage you better. And then with the numerical, well, they've sort of scrapped the numerical linear leveling system as well. So instead now you've got a power rating.
Yeah.
Which it serves the same fucking purpose, really.
But
But
now it
there's no
means,
number
like-
to tell you what level you are.
Yeah, so you'd
Th-
go
you
like
unlock perks, you get better gear, you
gear
get a
and
greater
perks,
power
yeah.
rating, which in the grand scheme of things will mean nothing really. It's just sort of there for, I don't know, I guess it's just sort of there to give you a sense of progression. And there's a lot you can unlock skill-wise.
Would you imagine?
and-
Sorry to interrupt, but would you imagine, like in
Yeah.
the sense of when they talk about you could just do story missions, you don't have to grind? Is that in a lot of ways the story missions will hand you pieces of equipment so that you can have a certain power level, but if you want, let's say, the specific outfit you want, then you have to
think-
work for it.
I think the story missions may just be scaled to you. I don't know.
Okay.
When it comes to there are some encounters you can have in the world. Zealots, they're part of the Order of Ancients. They're a set power level that's irrespective of your power rating. So if
So
you
you
want to
like
beat them, you can probably
Phylakitires or
beat them
whatever?
at any level.
or Falakis.
It's like the Phylakitide where they just roam about.
No.
They're irrespective of your power level. But if you kill them, you get like a kill room confession, and that's
That's cool.
You know.
I'll want more
I'll-
of those.
Well, yeah,
I'll
like
raise-
Darby said,
I'll
they're
raise-
on the Order of Ancients kill list, so they're like, you know,
the Order
targets.
of Ancients. I think they all have kill move confessions, but don't quote me on that. Darby didn't
Yeah,
say so. I'm just guessing.
they do. He said they do. Some are like smaller, and like obviously like when you play
Oh, did he say
Brotherhood, sometimes you'll get confessions, and Ezio will just be like Requiescat in Pace, and that's the whole thing. So
Yeah.
maybe some are like that, but he said they all have them.
They're quite.
So
Some of them are short and snappy. I'd imagine there are some that are longer. The main story ones
yeah,
will be
for
longer.
sure. Yeah.
There may be a few others that are longer, sort of like I guess like a Son of Ra.
I
from
already know the
Origins.
main
That's the
story
only
ones are
kill
going to
room
be good. The ones in Black,
Yeah.
The kill-
ones in Black Flag was sick. I love
Oh,
the
they were
confessions in
great
Black
in
Flag.
Black Flag. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The kill room confessions are back. That's cool. There's a
Yeah.
bit of that identity there. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not pointless numbers for the sake of pointless numbers all the time. That being said, there are some examples of pointless numbers for the sake of it. Damage telling you what number flies off, but you can disable
Thank
that, so
God.
that's being instantly done.
Yeah, I'm getting that off
Uh,
straight away.
100%.
And I guess it'll tell you, how I don't think it gives you an experience number. It'll just sort of like raise you towards your next skill point.
Yeah.
It's like-
I'll tell you,
it'll just sort of be
they're
a full
trying
bar.
really hard to please everyone here, and I just don't think they're going to
There
be
is-
able to do it. They're
There is a
doing.
risk in that.
There's such a risk in that. Like they're doing things I like they're giving people the choice to, like, we want that experience of instant kill assassinations. We don't want to see this like RPG light bullshit in it. Oh, but you can turn off. It's like, oh, cool in concept, but then like if it's constructed to almost be that way, then not having it is it going to feel like off? Like, are we going
It's
to
a
feel weird?
restriction.
Like what's there's
You
no
feel
way
naked
they can
sometimes, yeah.
please both audiences. So are they going to please nobody, or is someone going to be more pleased than others? Like. I just
Well,
find
I
it
mean-
hard to believe that Ubisoft all of a sudden have found the balance in that. I just find it hard to
with
believe.
this specific feature, with the numbers flying off of shit, for example, that's in the game to begin with, because that's just a thing that people do when they make RPGs.
Yeah.
So it won't be missed, I don't think.
Yeah, that's
get
the
rid of it, it
only
won't
reason
matter.
it's in.
The bigger issue, which I agree with you on, actually, is the thing that I'll probably be enabling, which is instant kill with the hidden blade. You can enable or disable that. If you enable it, you sort of like cut off a third of the entire skill tree thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Good.
It's
Get rid of
there.
it.
Yeah,
I
good.
think. I don't know
Yeah,
if
Get
it's able
fucking
to,
rid of
yeah,
it.
I'm definitely putting that feature on.
But it'll
instant
probably
kill.
still be there for you to invest in if you want to. It'll have no effect.
I'm sure there'll be like
So
things
it
like
feels
double
it's a bit of
assassination,
a
right?
pleasing anyone.
Yeah, I like
be
ledge
like an option
assassination.
or-
Surely you'd expect
Like
there to be like.
some things like that.
You hope so.
But those weren't
Fingers
moves.
crossed on
Those
that
were not
one.
moves.
Yeah, they weren't made yet until Altair made them. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Yeah, but well, I mean.
but then he
Brighton
does them in
rather than
Revelations
Legends of
Memories.
Zelda.
So what is canon and what is not canon? Who knows?
Yeah, nothing's canon at this fucking point in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The
But
pyramids
also,
were made
it-
thousands of years. Fucking.
It makes no sense that they
After
didn't do
the
ledge
war.
assassinations until Altair decided, hey guys, we could probably assassinate from a ledge, you know.
Yeah.
Or we could assassinate from a bench, guys. Why did we never think of this before, guys?
Why did we never
It's
think
not
of?
that.
I
It's not
love
that.
how-
It's just that, like, fuck's sake, like how beautiful it was that they introduced new gameplay mechanics in the Ezio trilogy, and they wrote it off as like to connect to that first game. What a brilliant way to do it.
What I
Yeah.
like
And it
about
means
it and the way I
nothing
explain it
now.
is just that, well, Altair made it a standard teaching for the assassins at that point when he
Yeah.
wrote it into the codex pages. Like, yeah, sure, I'm sure a lot of assassins just sort of maybe did stuff how they wanted, but the standard teachings of the assassins after Altair now taught right, we need to teach these ways of assassinating. They should know to assassinate from hay bales and benches, and they should be able to do air assassinations and ledge assassinations. We should teach that as part of our assassin training.
Like that,
and so that's the way I saw it. Was like, you know, he made it the standard now.
Normalization of those teachings as opposed to just you know, we just invented stabbing people but while sitting down. You know, I of the two, that's a bit more plausible as a logical thing, but the problem is with this, confusing law can often be an issue. Like, sure, it's not breaking the law, like it's not causing a plot hole or anything like that, but if you confuse it, you'll confuse people, and confused people will see it as a plot hole, and that's, I mean, you can go in those different tones if that's what's to be expected, but in this, what's canon, what's not is already a bit confusing. You're just going to confuse people more. It's just
also what's so complicated.
But it's such a small feature that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I think in terms of Assassin's Creed lore, it's always been confusing since day one, because lore contradicts gameplay almost, which is what's so strange about it. Is like, you know, the lore tells us how the Animus works, but what we're playing isn't, you know, correct lore in a sense. Like, obviously, Desmond is not sitting in the Animus running around, jumping from buildings and choosing what he wants to do. Like, you know, the lore tells us in the Animus, if you try to take control, you desync and you're ejected from the memory. Yeah. So in lore, Desmond's not controlling Altair, Ezio, Connor's actions. He's just watching the memories, he's reliving them.
No, he's living them out. Look at Callum Lynch, you know, in his
he's running around.
You've been desyncing
and Alan
in
Riken,
the Animus.
yeah, he's been desyncing the Animus. So
you've been
that's what Alan Riken
desyncing in
said.
the Animus.
Whereas Layla's Animus can just do mega cocaine trips.
Yeah, Layla's Animus can create things that
change
didn't happen.
history.
Layla's Animus
Change
is
the
a
past.
simulation somehow that's never explained. I would love if that's explained, because my biggest issue wasn't that Layla's Animus is different. You can have a different Animus. That's honestly kind of interesting, but explain it. Like that, Assassin's Creed is a franchise that's based on deep lore that all has a
I'll tell you how Layla's
meaningful
Animus
explanation.
is different. It folds into a fucking suit.
It fucking does as well, doesn't it? It's mental. She's carrying it about everywhere.
I hate
fucking
Layla's
HR8
Animus.
or whatever it's
Looks
called.
stupid.
It's the HR 8.5
I want
in
baby
Odyssey.
back.
Oh yeah.
That's
Baby?
all I want.
You mean the Animus?
Baby? You mean the Animus?
Well,
I call her
Animus
Baby.
2.0, since Baby is twice as awesome as anything you'll find at Abstergo.
Twice
The Templars
as
might have deeper
awesome.
pockets than us, but they've got no passion, no competitive edge.
Oh god! Is anyone up for some
Even with all their
reconciliatory yoga? Anyone?
Did you see?
Oh, what are you, a
Danny
tiny
Wallace
child?
replied to me. I tweeted him a Assassin's Creed confession that said Sean Hastings saved my life.
Oh
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
replied,
Danny Wallace replied.
He just said, "Wow."
Did he?
Yeah.
He's got better things to do. He wrote Yes Man with Jim Carrey, alright?
Oh,
He's got much
God.
better things to
I
do.
fucking love Danny Wallace. I hope to God he's in
So do
fucking
I.
Valhalla, because everyone's been saying Rebecca's got a new voice actor. So
Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
really?
whoa, whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa.
apparently,
So they've changed her face and now they're changing her voice as
everyone
well.
apparently has
So-
said.
So,
she-
so what you're saying is
He
it's
just
not
doesn't care.
Rebecca.
apparently everyone said she sounds different, and so she's got a different voice actor.
Yo,
Whether
they
we-
busted her face up in AC3
I
and I've
don't
never
know,
been able to
so-
forgive them for it since.
I
then.
just want to know if Rebecca's in a fucking wheelchair or not. Like,
That's true,
you
she
know.
got shot in the spine, didn't she? Or like got shot.
Well, she
I
got
think
shot.
she just got
somewhere.
shot. Yeah, she just got shot a bit, and everyone assumed she was dead for a while.
Yeah, because she got shot once.
Yeah.
But she's not that much of a pussy. She's
And they
an
made it
assassin.
kind of dramatic at the end of Syndicate, where Sean's like holding her and she's like fucking bleeding.
No, nothing about the ending of Syndicate was dramatic. It was fucking
had
hilarious.
epic music
I
Shit.
playing.
forgot what
And you had
happened.
fucking
I forgot
Galena.
that
Music that
happened.
played in the
I
background.
forgot that happened. I really
Yep.
did forget that.
Do you remember the bit where Galena's running about and like her running animation? There's something wrong with it. It looks like she's like shit herself. Why couldn't they allow us to play that bit?
Because it's too
Galena
much work.
only exists in Assassin's Creed
Oh, yeah.
Syndicate to diffuse the only
Oh,
good moment in the
They
modern day.
almost had a brilliant moment, and they fuck up because they're like, "Oh, let's make Galena scare Sean so it's epic and funny." And it's like, why? That was
when
actually
she
a
scares
genuinely good
Sean?
moment. It was Sean
Yeah,
is.
it's when Sean's opening up about
He's talking about Desmond, yeah. He's like, I knew this guy, and like I thought he was a bit of a dick or whatever, and then he's like, but then I came to realize, you know, he was a great guy and everything, and he's like talking
Yeah.
about that, and, like it's really emotional, really good.
Yeah.
And then Galena just makes him jump, and it's like this comical moment. It's like, what the fuck? And then they have Desmond the dog, and then they made the fucking database entry. Sean locked himself in the bathroom drinking whiskey or whatever, and it's like, ugh. Not funny, not funny history. It's not funny. Oh my god, fucking.
They've made Desmond a joke. They've shat on his legacy. Fucking hate him.
All they need now is to have Layla make Desmond jokes, and we'll be.
Nah, we need Layla
gold.
to meet Desmond in the Grey, and then Desmond does a little takedown on her, and then
He does a takedown animation.
Darby elaborated on that Desmond in the Grey. It's Juno propaganda, is what he said. It's like Juno's lying. Desmond's actually just dead.
He's been practicing his
Darby
epic Connor
confirmed
brutal
that.
takedown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Darby
what?
confirmed the other day that Desmond and Clay are not actually in the Grey. It was just he apparently all along he just intended that was like Juno trying to convince people that it's safe and you can come into the Grey with me. But apparently it wasn't ever meant to.
Yeah, but no,
to be
Desmond is
taken at
just
face value.
dead.
Desmond is just dead.
Why would they
And
kill
I think
him
it's
off?
better that way.
I think it's stupid they killed him off.
I think it's better that way. Not that they killed him off. That was fucked. But they can't use him as a get out of jail free card now, can
yeah.
they?
I don't
that's
want
good.
them to either. I want them to write a good story. I don't want them to just use Desmond for the sake of it. And Darby's never been one to backtrack.
I miss
ever.
Desmond
No, he
so
doesn't.
much
Darby-
though.
He stated openly.
Darby
he doesn't
takes everything as it is and goes, right, how can I make something good? How can I add to this? It's like he took where they were at the end of AC3 and like what had happened. He's like, right, well, I tell you what we can do for one to flesh out Desmond and his whole ending. Let's put in fucking those phone calls, those voicemails from Desmond to his father. Those were fucking.
Oh, they were
brilliantly
so
written.
good.
Let's do subject
They were so
subject
good.
zero audio drama. Let's put that whole narrative in audio dramas, and it's fucking brilliant and it's incredibly done. And let's fucking put in the different hacks you can do in the modern day. Let's
Darby's
throw
the only
in-
dude that cares. He's the
Let's
only
throw in
fucking guy
sages as well.
that cares.
Let's try and like he thought, right, so what is Juno's plan? Because there needs to be one. What's Juno's plan? Well, let's write in sages. It's a reincarnation of Aita. That's a brilliant fucking plot device
That's
to be able
cool.
to then link games together as well. Like, you know, how does AC4 link to Unity? Well, sages. And they're looking for
Yeah.
sages, and they're related. Like, but they obviously just didn't handle it well. But Darby is so good at implementing new things to make previous things have way more weight. It's like, well,
That's the
Juno's
thing,
plan
though.
at the end of 3 is like, what the fuck is she gonna do? Like, they didn't set up anything. It didn't.
She
It
didn't do
didn't really go
anything.
anywhere. And like, then Darby goes, well, I'll explain that. Let's do that. And he's just.
And then they
fucking
fucked it up.
brilliant at it.
Darby brings in
They
these plot
fucked it up.
devices. Darby brings in these plot devices, and then other fucking shit retarded writers come in and go, "Wow, I don't know how to write a good story. I don't know how I got this job." And then they write something shit.
I don't know why I'm here. I just
Yeah.
said I hate women in the interview, and I was
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah. Fucking hell,
Oh my-
Ubisoft.
so-
Sort your
so
shit
question-
out.
I'm sure there are other
speaking
people
of
who care,
Darby
it's just a
and
case of
intricate
confusion.
storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
Eivor, 2 genders, 1 person, Sage.
But the
What's
animus
thoughts?
can
What's the
choose.
thought? No. What's the thoughts here? Is Eivor a sage? Is that so? So for those who don't know, here's the explanation here.
No.
So first thing I want to
go
explain
on.
is, because people don't fucking know what sages are. Sages are random genetic events of Aida, the Isu.
Mm-hmm.
Which means there could be no sages around history. Sage doesn't die and then, all of a sudden reincarnated. It's not reincarnation.
magic,
It's a
yeah, it's
random.
not, yeah.
It's not reincarnation. He's not the fucking Avatar. It's a random genetic event.
Yeah,
It's
just
pieces
of
mutation.
Aida's
memory,
There could
isn't
be
it?
10 sages at one point in history. There could be no sages at one point in history.
Everyone could
dies
be a
doesn't
sage,
mean
conceivably.
Conceivably. And a sage doesn't die and then the next day a fucking new one's born. It's not reincarnation. It's not how it works. It's a random genetic event. Now here's the thing. If Eivor's a sage and the reason... So you've got 2 personalities in the one person. Therefore, there's 2 personalities creating memories. Or two different people's DNA creating memories at the same time. Aida a male. Eivor born female. Let the animus decide is really just letting what memory... It's saying let the animus decide whose memory is the strongest. Well, is it Aida's memories of the events are the strongest? Which is a male? Or is it Eivor's memory is the strongest, which is female? Is that something that interests you guys? Is that plausible enough? What's the thought process here for this theory?
Ooh, I think there's a few holes in it, but I think that
All right,
it's a...
give me the holes, James. Give me the holes.
Well, I mean, there's the whole, like, heterochromia thing that Eivor doesn't have.
Not
all sages
prominent
have
all
that.
sages.
Yeah,
Do they not all
Sage and
have
Syndicate
that?
didn't have it.
No, they don't all
they
have
don't
that. They
all
do not all have that.
There are some
Okay.
that don't have.
Do you remember the Sage and
I thought
Syndicate,
that
like
was
the
like
random
a
Templar
Syndicate
spy?
Sage, but that's probably just a
Do
shit
you even
character
see
model.
the Syndicate Sage
But-
though?
If you look at his corpse,
yeah. Okay, so Jacques de Molay was a Sage, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it. Okay, he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
That's probably
Um,
the best example.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine then. My other thing
So
is
you're wrong
here,
again.
right?
First hole, you're wrong. Yeah, go
Why?
on.
This is not necessarily a hole. It's more of a question. Is just why would the Animus? What? I don't know. This is difficult.
How would the Animus confuse that?
Yeah, I guess
But
how would the Animus
one-
confuse that?
one-
Yeah.
Because they want us to be able to
Not-
play as two genders but be one character.
So
Yeah,
so
no,
there's
exactly.
no
It's a-
real
it's-
reason
it's so-
for it.
It could be as simple. It could be as simple as that. Now it's a cool
So-
way to do it. It's a very interesting way to do it, but
It's
it
still a
could be
band-aid, though, isn't it?
It is. It is a band at the end of the day. I'm not claiming there's some reason for it. I'm just claiming it's an interesting way to make that the concept, and it makes it sort of like you were to let the Animus aside. If it's just like some simulations, I don't want to. I'm gonna pick one or the other. I don't want to fucking the Animus aside. That's stupid to me. But if you're telling me it's a Sage, I was like, well, it's actually the same person to me. So it actually is a reason there's a male female. So I'd actually let the Animus aside those memories
It's
that
the
way.
same person
That's-
with two personalities inside their head.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a
like
canon
that
way
is
to
actually.
play it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Darby said that's the best. That's the way he'd recommend playing it, just because of the story.
Looks like I'm
Obviously,
gonna
not
do that
spoil it.
then.
I'm doing it because Darby said to, and I trust
Yeah.
Darby.
I mean, I just don't like the concept of that at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. If Darby said to do it, I wasn't gonna, even though he said
I'll
to.
do it as
but
well.
The Sage idea is like, all right, actually, that's a reason that I would not. It wouldn't annoy me.
I think
Like-
I think you could probably combine the theory I had and this Sage theory. I think you could probably put those together and probably have a pretty good idea of maybe where they're going. Because my only thing then is, why are they reliving the memories of this Sage? What's so important about it? Why would Layla need to? And maybe it's because how her Animus interacts with Sage DNA or Sage memories is different, and maybe that links to the modern day story, and that's why they've decided the Sage is important for this story.
The thing is, though, Darby says he doesn't like to backtrack, and Assassin's Creed hasn't had anything to do with sages in years.
Yeah, but he's not backtracking. He's just using something he invented for a narrative.
And
to
he
push
and
this
he also
forward.
did create Sages. So
Yeah,
I know.
did
I know he
invent
created
Sages,
sages because obviously it was AC4.
I
they
think,
were
and he said as well,
introduced.
this game does something that he's wanted to do for a while, but has never been able to do. And maybe he introduced Sages because in the back of his mind he was like, "There's this really cool
That's a
idea.
seed, yeah.
If we relive the memory of Sages, maybe this could be a really interesting plot, but no one's done it, and he's not been able to. And maybe that's where we go with this, reliving the memory of a Sage."
I do hope so. What if
as
they
an
just
interesting
go,
plot point.
yeah, the Animus just can't really read the DNA very well. The DNA is broken and old.
Yeah, but
They're
it's
not
the
doing
chromosomes, isn't it?
But
You can. It's probably one of the easiest things to tell from DNA is the gender of who it's from. Well, sorry, the sex of who it's from.
Yeah, but
And
they
the
couldn't
thing
do
is
that
as
in
well,
Odyssey because not allowed. Too
the
old.
dumb thing in Odyssey was, like, to be fair, I was actually wrong about the whole Odyssey thing. It was actually dumber than what I predicted that it was going to be. It literally was just you choose canon. So, like, if you pick, no matter which you pick, like, if you choose to pick as Cassandra or Alexios, you're always right. You've always picked the Eagle Bearer, no matter which one. And so, like, you forge the canon. It's just ridiculous. Like, Darby even said on Twitter, there's a tweet you can find that he did recently where someone explained that to him, and his response was just like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any
It was
sense.
it was amazing because he was like, I think he was talking to someone, they were trying to explain it, and he was trying to explain how it worked, and the person said, oh yeah, but at the end of the game, like, Alexios or Cassandra can appear in a suit in the modern day, and he was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And he's just, that's where the
Cassandra's the
conversation
canon.
ended, which is Darby being like, that doesn't make sense.
Cassandra's canon. Cassandra is
I'm trying
so
to
much more
find-
canon.
I'm trying to find that now.
Oh, it was
Did
brilliant.
Oliver
I think it was
Bowden
it was
write the
little while
Odyssey
ago.
book?
No, it's
I've got to find it though.
I forget who does the Odyssey
believe
novel,
it.
but Oliver Bowden also isn't doing Valhalla either. So,
I can't believe it.
but
Oliver Bowden
the
is such a
thing-
fucking good author.
The thing about all of the extended media now that's coming out for Valhalla is not from the perspective of Eivor. It's all from you've got some from the perspective of Sigurd and other
It's
characters.
from the perspective of Cassandra,
and
watching from afar.
this, I think this well, that'd be great. But I think this backs up Tyler's Sage idea. Is that
it's not my idea, to be fair. In my
Whose
last
idea is
video, everyone was commenting it was Walshy. Well,
There you go.
people
It's,
just
for the sake of
mention
this
I
conversation.
haven't seen his video. I just people in the comments of my last video go, oh, have you seen Walsh? I did that Eivor was a sage. So from that, just the thought of it being a sage, everything I've said is just where my brain's at with it. I don't actually know if she's got extra ideas or it's the same. I don't know, but that's the first person that mentioned sage that I'm aware of.
Okay.
With the idea of it being a sage,
just want to give credit there. Yeah.
The fact that the Eivor that's in all of like these novels and comics is female Eivor almost backs that up. The Eivor that everyone else sees is female, but when you're replaying the memories, it's female Eivor, but you can it switches to male because there's that Aita DNA in there that's conflicting. Is interesting, and that honestly kind of could make sense.
That's the only cool way they could do this whole you can play as both male and female. That's the only way I can see them explain that off that I would accept. Nothing else.
It'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, otherwise it's dumb. Otherwise it's like, why am I? They're two different. Otherwise they're like almost two different characters that you're getting invested in, rather than the same character.
Yeah, it's
and
almost
it actually
like
has a concept to it. So they are actually two different people, but they're the same person.
And they're like trying to fight for the same headspace, which is like what we see with German and what we see with Roberts and everything. And they were so interesting, those characters.
Yeah,
Roberts maybe a bit more so, but I love that, and I think it's really cool. And like obviously the concept of fucking like Desmond's son being a sage was great as well, but that never got explored in anything but a comic, so it's a shame. But that was such an interesting concept that would have been like, you know, the legacy of Desmond and then the legacy of Juno almost inside of one person is such a great concept.
They could have had that in a game.
Could have done,
but they didn't. They created Layla Hassan instead. I have everyone's favourite character. I hate her so much.
Because like we've never seen, at least I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've never seen an assassin sage before.
Amwalim.
Unless we take the headcanon that Amwalim was a sage, but
I believe
they've all been Templars.
I feel like he was. He went crazy.
He was a crackhead.
I feel like it'd be very interesting because he killed all of the Templars and then wanted to control the assassins. Like he was like in between both. Like he wasn't really either.
Exactly.
I think that's
he manipulated both sides, which is what Roberts does as well.
He played both.
In AC4, cool. Roberts gets on the side of sort of like everyone and then betrays everyone at the end.
Does he?
Yeah, when you're sort of like mates with Roberts near like the
he betrays Edward, but I don't think he never really was mates with the Templars. They always wanted to capture him.
Oh, I guess he is a pirate as
German
well.
German fucked everyone. Because he fucked him. He became...
German was the dude from the AC Brotherhood demo.
He fucked everyone. German fucked over all those nice Templars. And he became mates with the horrible evil Templars.
Monsieur de la Serre! Monsieur de la Serre!
Sever, come away.
Come away.
Those out of context quotes are not nearly as funny as the SE trilogy ones.
I like Unity out of context quotes.
Money? I don't have your money.
You're not going to catch me.
Give me back my money.
Shall we take a look at the list?
Oh man, what are we talking about? Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
Sages.
Oh yeah, that Viking game.
Yeah. What's that about?
Yeah.
Viking crap.
But yeah,
like a Viking. Oh,
but I do like the sage theory. I do like it, and I think that it'd be an interesting road to go.
Yes,
this tastes like mint.
The sage theory is very cool. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
For sages,
really
but
cool.
Yeah.
And Darby's talking about us like fucking picking our jaws off the ground and shit. Like he's.
Yeah.
He knows a thing or two about what he's.
That's interesting. Yeah, he said these info drops you're getting at the end of these I guess it's the equivalent of like the truth, but in Valhalla.
Yeah.
Are going to be big. They're all going to be so big, and once you get to it all tells a continuous narrative. So once you get to the end, everything pieces together and stuff. And you got
and then we'll hear about Layla's son.
Oh my god.
Your son. No, stop it.
The son. Your son.
His DNA.
Eve, the key. DNA.
Man, do you remember when Assassin's Creed used to be cryptic and you used to have to like piece things together?
That Brotherhood truth still sends me into a fucking frenzy. It's incredible. So good.
Yeah, I still love it. I still am holding on that one day, like even though I know it wasn't planned or anything, that Darby will take it and do something with it.
Yeah, do it in this game.
I'm almost hoping it happens here.
Because I've been playing Brotherhood and like everything that's been said, I'm like, oh, it's so interesting as well. Like when you've got fucking Juno saying like, oh, the scales must be balanced, and one will accompany you through the gate. She lies not within our sight, and all that stuff.
All these cool cryptic messages.
So
like the only thing that we have to piece together in Assassin's Creed now is why the fucking franchise is still going.
Yeah, like just let it end. End it now.
I mean, I think the next AC game is gonna bring about the next paradigm shift in terms of the tone of the game.
I think it'll just be like a fucking reboot.
Yeah,
The
I
next
feel
game.
like
They'll
the
just,
next time
this
they'll
is
be
the
like,
end. I honestly feel like this is the end. Darby's gonna sort of try to give us a bit of a treat, wrap up what he can wrap up, and after this it'll be completely just different.
I think it's gonna be different. Yeah.
I think it'll be almost a
Yeah.
reboot. They'll forget all the canon, forget all the lore, forget everything that's ever happened in Assassin's Creed.
restart it.
It's just going to be something. They're just going to do whatever they want. They're just going to do whatever they want, and it will have nothing to do with assassins. You'll probably never play as an assassin again, and it'll just be a fucking historical game about whatever the fuck they want. And
Yeah, that's what I expect.
this
It's
is
going
the
to be a
end.
story
I
based
honestly
on the
believe
Netflix.
this is. I believe
show.
this is the end. I believe
But
this
they'll,
is the
they'll
end.
still call it Assassin's Creed because that makes money, but it will
Yeah,
never
yeah.
be about assassins or the Creed. The Isu won't matter except for having epic fantasy elements.
Now, what if they go
Um,
180 though? What if they go, well, people are sick of these fucking.
Those are the
this
only two
mythology.
directions I see them going. I
What
don't
if they
think they'll
go completely 180 and they release like this new next-gen linear Assassin's Creed game with the old storytelling techniques with amazing graphics and like
Shut up.
tombs and
Shut up.
and like oh,
Look,
Shut
look,
the fuck up.
This is
imagine.
This is my sort of theory and idea for what they're doing moving forward. I don't think they're going to continue with what they've
Ain't
been
happening.
doing. I think they're going to go two possible ways, and I think one is they're going to go full Odyssey, just go absolutely mental with fantasy and fuck.
But they've got
Assassin's Creed,
Phoenix
doesn't
for
matter.
that. They've got that game for that. They can let their autism flow in that game.
Or the other option is it'll be like a traditional reboot, because a lot of franchises have been doing that. When you look at, I mean, Halo's idea was going back to basics almost. When you
Yeah.
look at Call of Duty with Modern Warfare, it's like, okay, fuck, everything's gone so crazy. Let's go back to basics in Modern Warfare, Cold War.
Yep.
And they're so successful. I think this could be, this is the turning point now. It's like after Valhalla, is they can go two ways. It's either they go full Odyssey, or they decide, let's try what makes Assassin's Creed. Let's try and do that in the best possible way. This is like the choice they can make now. Is which way
Well,
they're
if it's
going
like
to
a
go with it.
reboot and it's like an Altair game,
See, they're never going to reboot it because no one will buy it.
I would.
I might. But
I'd
the
fucking
point,
buy it.
the point is that they get a lot of their sales now from hardcore AC fans based on their like connection they already have to the brand. And so
Yeah.
I don't see Ubisoft ever rebooting the canon because they know they'll lose so many people from that camp, because they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, I can finally stop playing now because this isn't connected to what I
Yeah.
cared about.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft is always, even
I
if
can
they reboot
finally
it,
stop.
It's finally over.
even if they reboot it, I don't see them ever saying, oh, this is a new canon.
Yeah.
Because they want to always be like, no, this is the same canon as Desmond, the same canon as Ezio, because they want people to buy it just because they think it's connected to the thing that they liked.
They never want to throw away Ezio. They can never fucking let that dude rest.
No, they got it. They got to use it.
They're even
Yeah.
using Ezio for Watch Dogs Legion marketing.
Are
Dude,
they?
that
Oh,
made
oh,
me.
yeah,
that
they
made
are.
me so angry. That made me
The
so angry.
Ezio
I took
collection.
I took that.
Oh, but with the
personally.
pig head.
I took-
They
I
put pig
took
head
that-
on Ezio, yeah.
I took that as an attack on me.
I'm
I took that
offended.
as a personal attack.
It
And I
was
don't
sick
like it.
marketing. I
I'm
don't
beyond
like it,
saddened.
but it was really impressive marketing. I think. It was
No.
unique. You know,
No.
changing these sort of old games and putting a new spin on it and stuff. I don't like the designs, but it's still outside of the box. I've never seen something done like that before.
I think it got people talking about Watch Dogs Legion, but I still don't think
don't
anyone bought
accept
it.
I don't accept
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No one bought that game. It was just Ethan got it for free.
Yeah, and that's it. and Brett as well.
Yeah. Well, no, Brett loved it, didn't he?
Ethan, no, I think he's in the same camp as Ethan, to be honest.
The game plays okay.
But Brett cares more about Watch Dogs than we do. So
He
to
does,
him,
he
it's
does.
like
it's all
he just loves
serviceable.
Yeah.
like talking about it. It's like the same way we played Syndicate and talked
Yeah.
about Syndicate, despite
Yeah.
it being the most average, nothing piece of shit game.
It's not even backwards compatible on PS5.
It's a fucking
That's
shit
a,
game,
that's
isn't it?
That's a
You
win.
want to know
That's a
what
win
that's
for the
for?
PlayStation 5.
So that they can
That's a
resell
win.
a fucking remaster later.
Yeah, they probably will release
Assassin's
Creed Syndicate
Remastered.
remastered. Get to play the same game again with slightly better
In order to
lighting.
remaster something, typically you have to master it in the first.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
Syndicate is so fucking bad. Do you think you get to
Re-average.
go?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate re-average.
That's what they did with Rogue. That was cool.
No, Rogue was just the same
Assassin's
fucking
Creed
game
Rogue
again. It was
repaint.
the same 11 minutes over
Yeah,
and
but
over
you could
again.
wear Bayek's
11
outfit and
minutes,
do it.
48
so
seconds
Ah,
in Bike's
shit.
out.
Shay wearing Bike's outfit honestly is masterpiece.
You get to listen to What's This Greeny Assassin Christmas in slightly better textures.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's not even. It just looks no different to PC.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
don't know how
think-
to make
so-
remasters.
Do you think in Assassin's Creed
Well-
Valhalla we'll get to go to the location where the
With the stones.
No, I was gonna say the location where
The bit of stones, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we can talk about that in a minute. Just let me get my fucking shit question out. This isn't even nearly as important anymore. What was the fucking
sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think we'll get to go to Buckingham Palace where it's
Yes.
gonna be built? And
Yes.
do you think the Isu Temple will actually be there in England? Do you think they'll have
it
it
needs
in
to be,
some way?
doesn't it?
Where the
Doesn't it
shroud
need to
is.
be?
Yeah, where the shroud
Yeah.
is.
Doesn't it
Yes, I
have to
do.
be there? If it's not there, then
Yeah.
they will. I'll literally fucking.
It has to be
Go
there.
mad.
Yeah. You'd think so.
Yeah, it'll be there. Yeah.
It has to be. It
I'm
has
gonna
to
go
be.
there. I'm gonna go underground. I'm gonna see the Shroud of Eden.
And I'm gonna
I'm
go.
gonna sit and I'm gonna
together.
wait for Crawford Starrick to show up.
We do
But,
this
the
together.
bit of stones, as long as the bit of stones are there.
Yeah. Hopefully there's an
yeah,
Isu
yeah.
temple there. What if there's an Isu temple
Why would
under
the
the bit of stones?
be?
And you go there, and there's
why
a
would
big
the bit of
stone of
stones
Eden.
be in there?
Stone of Eden.
I have a question. Who
It gives you extra
put
XP.
who would put the bit of stones in there?
Yeah, who do you reckon designed the bit of stones?
Ashraf, personally.
Well, we did. Yeah, James did ask Ashraf to put it in the game, like before Ash obviously no longer works on the game. Before that,
Yeah.
like probably a year ago, he's like,
Yeah.
"Can you put the bit of stones in the game?"
And I've said this before, if it's in the game, all is forgiven. It's fine.
Yeah, you
I'll
come
forgive
back.
you on.
Fucking what?
I will forgive him on
Yeah,
behalf
hang on a
of the
minute.
victims. Don't worry about them. It's all on me.
I know. Alex Amancio licked your face, but it's okay.
No, he doesn't get forgiven. He's still a piece of shit.
Oh, true. He made Unity. He didn't get.
Only
You don't get a free
Ashraf.
pass.
It's all
You
about the
see-
Assassin's Creed content you make, to be honest. If you make
Exactly.
good AC games, it doesn't matter if you sexually harassed and abused women.
Oh,
that
God.
that doesn't matter, obviously. It's all about, can you make a good AC?
I mean, they've
If you-
brought
if
back
you
the
save
Shing
AC
sound effect.
Exactly, they brought back the Shing sound effect. So whoever did that, you're exempt.
You're off the hook.
This is the podcast that ruins our careers. I swear.
And obviously,
James'
of
career's
course,
already over, but that's
and obviously, of course, I'm being deadly serious.
It
And I
just
would love
doesn't
if
know it
people
yet.
took this clip and used it. Obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because of course, this
Um,
isn't a joke at all.
But the bit of stones, it needs to be there. Just like Ash called the bit of stones, please.
Oh, yeah,
And then
100%.
give us like something, give us some double XP of some kind.
Yeah, like you go down there and there's like the Shard of Eden in there, and it's like you put this on, it gives you better XP, and it also means you can't get shot by
No,
bullets.
it's just an apple. It's just another apple.
It's just another apple is put there by Ezio.
Oh, amazing. Actually, did you know, right? I found this out recently. Apparently, all of those apples that are in Odyssey aren't actually apples. They just use the apple model. But
Well,
they're
of
not
course they did.
actually apples.
They're cutting corners.
Oh, for fuck's
What
sake!
are
just
they,
like
like
Who
a relic
cares?
of Eden?
James,
Pieces of
who the
Eden.
fuck cares? Why are you talking about this? Why
I just
the fuck
thought
would you bring this up?
I'd let you know.
Well, it's just
um,
another reason why Odyssey's even shitter than it already
Like,
was.
why would
They're
you even tell
corner
me that? What a
cutting.
fucking waste of my time to hear that shit. My
Hey.
brain's dying.
I'm not. It's not for you. It's for everyone listening. They want their AC facts. Their AC
There'll be people.
factoids.
There'll be people in the comments that know the lore to each and every individual artifact that's been in Odyssey. Like they'll
Put it
know
on a
exactly
top
what you're on
trump
about.
card.
Oh God.
Yeah, the one from the Cerberus, that was a shrapnel of Eden that came from the spaceship that Juno we used in the war against humans.
I like the bit in Odyssey where you talk to that weird bird thing with a face.
The
And
Sphinx.
it says weird things to you. Yeah.
You have
I
to
like
answer
that
you have to answer the riddles.
I love that bit. It was really mysterious. Didn't know what was happening.
It honestly felt like classic AC.
felt like revelations. That's some really good revelations
Odyssey,
type moments in
honestly-
Odyssey.
Odyssey is the revelations of this new era, to be honest with you. You even have the moment where the modern day character meets the ancestor, but even
yeah, it's
better because it's
classic.
actually in person. They get to speak.
Yeah, it's even cooler.
They used to call
because
me the Eagle Bearer, but Icarus is long dead.
I've got the star from Hermes. Icarus is dead. It's like randomly says Icarus is dead for no reason.
I
Just
remember
in case
telling
we
George
didn't
on a
realise, yeah.
podcast because he hadn't played the game and he came on the spoiler cast and we told him
Oh,
about it
yeah.
and he just started laughing. Are you serious?
But no, that
He's
didn't
like,
fucking
I
happen.
know he's like, George, are you gonna need to sit down? This may sound like a joke, but dead serious. Cassandra comes back in a suit and still alive in 2018.
I thought you were having me on. I genuinely thought you were having a laugh.
That really happened.
so
This is,
ridiculous.
we're not fucking with you. This fucking really
Oh
happened.
my god, man.
When I
It's
finally
ridiculous.
played it, I was anticipating that moment where she walks out of the shadows in a suit, and I was not disappointed. It's just
It's amazing.
Fucking
I love
dreadful
Layla's
is what it
face as
is.
well. The way she's just like, what? And then she just turns to the side, and Cassandra's just there with a big spear. They used to call me the eagle bearer, but Icarus is long dead. Why did she say that?
It's because she's no longer the eagle bearer. The only thing she had to her name is gone. When did Icarus die as well, though? Like,
When did they stop? When did she stop being an eagle bearer?
She became the bearer of bad news. At that point, to be honest.
Oh god.
Oh fucking hell! Odyssey is like a fucking fever dream, man. I
Oh my
swear. What a
God,
terrible
I can't believe
thing
it
that
exists.
happened.
It's one of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
Oh, for
Was-
sure.
what's-
no, I
are
agree
there any
with that.
final predictions? Any final thoughts on Valhalla before we wrap up the podcast?
Oh my god.
A song. Valhalla. Please be good.
Well,
Please
we know
be
that
good. Holy
I
shit!
don't
Please
have
be,
any.
please be just good.
Um,
You don't have to be great.
please be
Just
good.
please
David McDevitt, my sir, please plug it, lad.
Yeah.
I know you can do it.
If
I
there's-
believe in you and your
I'm-
writing ability, and I believe in the team that works on the game. I guess you guys are cool too. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Game be good,
Hope
and
so.
I no cry. If it's anything like Odyssey, I swear to God, I'm gonna jump out of my fucking window.
Ethan, you
I-
just got too
yeah,
much baggage. You need to stop.
I don't know.
complaining.
I don't know about the game mechanic. I don't know about the game's mechanics.
Too much baggage.
and the structure or
No.
whatever. I don't know. But
I'll tell you
I
what, I do
trust
actually
in the
have too much
script.
baggage
I
to
trust
fit
in
out the
Derby.
fucking
I
window.
trust in the story. I trust in
Yeah.
Derby. In Derby we trust.
Yeah.
In Derby we
yeah,
trust.
I do trust Derby.
Well,
I want story moments that make me feel that I want story moments that make me forget that I'm playing a video game. Please.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Don't
looking for.
constantly remind me that I'm in a fucking shit game. Like Odyssey did.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? And I think that my biggest thing is that I just want at least one moment in the game that makes me just feel good. Like, but in a way where I'm like playing all these shit games for years was kind of worth it because
Yeah.
I get this one moment where I'm like, that's Assassin's Creed, and it made me feel good, and that
Yeah.
is all I need.
I don't
That's
think there's
all I
ever gonna-
need. If you can't even do that, don't bother releasing it.
Ubisoft, the
Put it-
bar is on the
Put
ground.
it in
at
the
this
bin
point.
because I'm not fucking having it.
We're
God.
broken.
If
at
in
this
your
point.
fucking 60 to 100-hour game you can't have one single moment that makes me feel like that, what's the fucking point? Why are you even making
Exactly.
it? That's not good enough.
Also, can I just make a point that we know for a fact the soundtrack's going to be good. So there's a
Yeah,
higher
what's your
chance
point?
that we're going to have a moment that will make us feel happy and nice.
Oh yeah, like I've been listening to the soundtrack whilst editing this Valhalla big video series that I'm working on still. And
It's
they're so
lovely.
good. Every track is so fucking good. I love the way Sarah Schachner's work complements Jesper Kid. I think their styles go together so well. And then obviously got Einar as well doing his stuff, like because he works on the Viking soundtrack, so he's got that like Norse flair. It's actually it's beautiful. This has the
Kingdom of
makings of the
Wessex
best
is an
soundtrack, to
amazing
be
track.
honest.
What an amazing track.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Kingdom of Wessex.
incredible.
Well,
It's
this is going to
so
be the best
AC
soundtrack
as
we've
well.
had since like
amazing.
AC fucking
Revelations.
Yeah.
3.
I thought 3's soundtrack was good.
I
Three
fucking
has,
hate
like-
it. It's my least favorite soundtrack. I fucking hate.
3 has
Assassin's
like
Creed
a
soundtrack.
good main theme, and the rest is just shit.
had
Oh,
good
I
mundane
hate
music
the
as
main
well.
theme. I fucking hate.
I know
But
you
yeah,
do, but
Revelations
I like
soundtrack
it.
was really good.
See, I hate Unity's main theme, but everyone always says that's really good.
I quite like Unity's
I don't
soundtrack.
mind it. I like it better than 3's, but I don't
I
like
hate it, but I think to me, like, although I always would say 3 is worse, Unity I think disappointed me more. So the memories I have of 3 probably aren't as bad as yours, because it wasn't until like I got through the game and finished it that I came to this realization where I was like, that
you
wasn't
opened up
very
one
good.
of your AC3 Let's Plays with welcome back to the best game ever.
That's in the description of every thing. It's like,
Oh,
hey viewers, and welcome
shit.
back to the best game ever, Assassin's Creed 3.
I think I was so throughout the whole time playing 3. I was just like, is this really happening?
Am I
think
really
I-
the AC3 follower?
I think I was waiting for something. Like, I was playing the whole game, I was like, okay, let's just wait. And then I got to the end, and I just felt this sense of, like, I've definitely
that
missed
it?
something.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, that hasn't hit me right. Something's
Unity
wrong.
made me angry more than anything because it just mechanically didn't work.
Yeah.
Like it
But
used to, like
Unity-
I remember just running away from guards and they could just snipe, shoot you, instant kill you. Like that drove me fucking crazy.
Oh,
that
I
was like
hated
I was
that,
getting
yeah.
angry.
I know you guys dumped all your skills into like stealth and stuff. When I played Unity, I just got like health immediately, heavy armor. It looked stupid, but I didn't die as much.
I didn't want to
and it
look
wasn't
stupid.
as
I wanted to look
frustrating.
like
An
an
assassin.
assassin. Like
Yeah.
why the
Yeah.
fuck do I have to look like a dumb cunt to
Yeah,
be able
with,
to
like,
fucking play the game?
medieval chain hood.
And even then, it didn't work. Like shit
Yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah.
It
And I
was just
think
a broken
game.
game.
I think with
Different
Unity,
reason I hated Unity. Different reason the game didn't work in Unity.
Yeah.
Whereas
But
like,
that's
I
why-
just didn't enjoy the story or direction at all in 3.
Yeah, but like the thing for me is right, Unity, those issues hit me immediately, and I hated it while I was playing it.
Yeah,
Whereas with 3, it didn't hit me till I was done, and like so I have that disappointment, but I still remember being excited booting it up for the first time and like
Yeah.
playing through the beginning and intro, and like there's that nostalgia for that, so that's why I love the main theme.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I guess I feel that like if you don't like it the first time around, it becomes a very sour memory for sure. But if you sort of enjoyed playing it the first time and then came to realise that there's holes in it, and you know it wasn't actually that good, but when you played it, you're like, yeah.
I still have those memories of playing it for the first time and being like, this is so
same.
cool. But
Yeah,
then like
same.
I got to the end and was like, that can't be all of it because it's not good.
Had a very bleak
Yeah.
ending, AC3, didn't it? It was very just like, is that all you're gonna give me? And then when the Tyranny of King Washington came out, you're like, well, I don't care about this. The fuck is this shit?
You know, the tyranny of fucking shit.
What a stupid DLC. What a fucking
I
stupid
forgot
idea.
that
Oh,
exists.
made by
I
And
Ubisoft
guess
Quebec.
who fucking made it? Ubisoft fucking
That was clearly
Quebec.
Ubisoft Quebec.
Of
Of course they did. Because Quebec are incapable of doing anything properly.
Epic
No,
Bear
I mean, it
ground
just
pound.
had the hallmarks of Quebec on it. It was the it just felt absurd. It didn't have any actual impact on anything real because it was all just simulation by a piece of Eden. It was a waste.
The only
of
good
time.
moment is that ending speech from George Washington.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I
He's
don't
a
remember-
filthy
Oh, you mean the
racist
ending speech
anyway,
that
so it
doesn't
matter.
work?
Right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
We've
let's
talked-
wrap
we-
this
we
up,
got-
guys.
We're talking about if we're talking about the Tyranny of King Washington, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We've just gotta stop. Whatever's happening,
Dead
we've gone fucking
man.
awry. Oh my
That's
god! Well,
The Jack the Ripper
boys,
DLC.
another amazing
That's
Four Pillars
damn it.
podcast. As always, we'll be back. The Four Pillars will be back in about 4 weeks' time for the spoiler cast of Valhalla.
Yes.
And we'll deep dive into everything and talk about our full thoughts. Did we love the game? Did we hate the game? You'll find out. There'll be one As Always podcast in between that, which I think the plan is to have Brett on.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
do
hope.
plan to do that. We need to ask him still.
That's us asking him.
Brett, you're
we
coming
always have
on.
ideas in our head. We book guests in our head because we're just like, they'll say yes.
Yeah,
find
so
a
we'll have
time.
Brett on, I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
Say
we've
no,
never
Brett,
got rejected
you've ruined
before.
our plans.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, amazing. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this or listening to this podcast. If you're on YouTube, be sure to like the podcast and subscribe to all of the Four Pillars. Mostly me. I'm about to hit 20k, and I kind of want to, hit a lot more.
How
than
close are you?
20K.
How
that. I know. Yeah,
You did
I'm
it,
a bit
didn't you?
behind. I'm a bit behind everybody, but we'll get there. And
close are you to 20? Oh, 19k. You're tasty.
yeah. So
What's
now,
everyone's
I
goals
wish you
for
would
the end
tell
of the
me
year, by the
more.
way, since we're nearly there, and we're talking about subs? Just a quick, what's everyone's goals
don't-
for end of the year?
Mine was
End of the year.
50k, but I don't reckon I'll hit it.
I'm just
Okay.
like
I
I'd
mean-
like to 25 would be nice. Who knows what can happen with the next 2 months and how big or small it could be. Like it really is
That's
just
true.
who the fuck knows. There's so much going on, and I'm going to be making so many videos, so it could be really big. I could surprise
That's very
myself, or
true.
I could be just fucking 2/5 of fuck all, and it's like 21k or something. I don't
There are
know.
only so many Assassin's Creed people out there who explore YouTube, so I'm not so convinced it'll be particularly hefty for me. But you never know.
There's always new people.
I reckon I could get a few more. I reckon I could get a few thousand in.
I reckon
Yeah.
you could bang quite a few by the
Yeah.
end of the year.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm going to go 150k. That's pretty safe. I think it's actually
Yeah,
secured, to be honest.
yeah, I
So
think it's
I'm a
pretty
few
secure. I think
hundred
it's
away
pretty
from
secure.
250k at the moment, so I reckon 275 would be alright.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh,
that'd be like a
that'd be
nice
really cool.
round goal to go for, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'd love 30 just to like somehow blow up a bit.
That'd
you
be
know?
crazy. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But you know, I'm now officially no
Yeah,
longer
man.
full time. I don't have a full time job anymore after today. I've I'm done.
Congratulations.
So thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I'm terrified and very excited. So tomorrow's the beginning of the next chapter.
As is the way.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the beginning of something
That's
new.
exciting.
And it's November, December, new consoles, all these new games. I'm here for it. Let's see what happens. We're doing a whole bunch of projects together. We've got this Ghost of Tsushima Legend stuff, and then some unannounced things that we're working on together. So there's a lot of fun that's coming in the next couple of months.
Yeah, of course.
So
it's going to be a good month. A few months.
As always,
keep you posted on those.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you to the audience for listening. And I hope you enjoyed it all. And we'll see you all very soon for more podcasts, for more 4 Pillars content, videos, events, things coming, and that you all enjoy the new generation consoles and the games. And of course, thank you to the great people over at patreon.com/, as always, for supporting us and this show.
I'd just like to, just in case Boris Johnson ever listens to this, I just want to call him a massive cunt.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's an avid fan of the As Always podcast.
It wouldn't be a surprise.
I'm sure he loves it, but I just want him to know that. I just want him to know how I feel about his wig. Right, that's done. Now you can wrap up.
All right. All right, thank you for that. Shout out to Boris Johnson. So, for just $1 a month, ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com/, as always, if you like what you're listening to and you want to hear more, do that. You get exclusive access to the best podcast on the internet, the Clubhouse podcast. There's 95 episodes for you to stream right now for just $1. Go do that. Plus, early access to big video projects James and I are doing, and exclusive access to all these cool little extras. Plus, there's going to be some cool stuff coming now that we've hit 300 patrons, our 2020 goal. And if you want to pay $5 or more, you get on our credits list at the end of every podcast we do. So thank you to the sweet vintage lads that help power this podcast. We have King Richard III, Josh DeVilliers, Damien Olbrich, Avery Dobbs, Cat94, Real Cinema, Colton, Bullseye 47, Loomis Red, Mara 5380, Casey Wood, Ooga Booga, Chinga Wooga, Tugga Mugga, Luga, Suga, Vuga, Pugga, Ruga, Suga Zuga, Yuga Duga, Pink Flame 313, Jesper Olsen, Kimasaba Gamma Cream Pies, Seth, Sicarius aka Kieran, Henry, Justin, Aragon, Adam Sunling, Fuck Off James, BQ Overlord, The Elder, Son of a Bitch, OG Doggo, Ravjai, Gene, Joshua Mora, Brian Ford is now really good at Gwent, Joe the Sexy Boy Smith, S. Jaws, Emil Cat Borg, Benedict Clobbers, Furious Coco, Noah Watts, Fishy, Ginkgo Swag, Mass the Bass, Max H, Luca, Winona Ryder, aka Lindsay from Destination Wedding, Joe the Lioness Charming, Arse Eating, Coke Snorting, Cat Killing, Nonce Hating, Founder Scarab, aka Tyler's Son, Mon Jack, Assassin the Creed, Nick Miller, Owen Big Brain, Walshy, Josh J. Anderson. But when is the Blood and Wine retrospective though? Smexy Dog, Gwen Hughes, Evan Brown, Radoc, Fat Fuck Cuck, I'm Not Moving On From Rocket Man, Victor Eliason, Bleeding Edge 274, Marquis is shit and gay and I hate it, just call me 10 Riggins, Alfie Rodbert, Philip Stillwagon, Jack, DJ 1998, Gimme a Penis, Marcus aka Blackburn, Frankie Gaffney, Mag aka The Guy Who Makes His Own Assassin Christmas, Kyle, The Swan, Swam Over the Sea, The Swan swam back again, well swum Swan, Greenies Weenie, Jason Otter, Liam, Andy Cure, Saul Goodman, The Blue Cow, AC Landmarks, Harrisy aka Bad Assassin, Alexander, Ashton is not happy that Matt platinumed Odyssey, Conversations is objectively worse than As Always, Star Explorer, Rainy Not Sunny, Blake Lloyd, Louis De Leon, Lady Litzomania, Zeke Collins, Jackery has that fucking phobia that I can't pronounce. Come on, Tyler, I know you can say it. Also, I still hate the goddamn Lakers.
What's the phobia of?
Tristan Obigfell, Angel of Harlem, Big Dick 666999, Zeppo Forquin, Tim Anna Travis, Josh the Second, Christian 0210. Edgar is doing bits in Tsushima, aka http.yokai. Chris, I can't fucking get it. Krista Sophia Elidia. Evan the Kitty did get, for sure put spaces though. Evan the Kitty did get cucked by Ed Sheeran. Morgan McCack, Bear Zed, fucking hell, Otaku World 7, Aiden Francis, Tyler Corbin, and Christian Rowe. Thank you, Sweet Vigilante, for power this podcast. What a list!
Beautiful,
amazing.
Even bigger on the next episode because it's our October list. So thank you, Sweet Vigilante, for.
I'd love to know what that phobia is.
I fucking love you all. And we'll see you next week for another Clubhouse, and in 2 weeks' time for another As Always podcast, episode 136. Again, Ethan, George, thank you for joining us as always. You're just
No worries.
our two other co-hosts, our part-time co-hosts.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
Well, part of the furniture now, you can't get rid of.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, you're no longer allowed to be nominated for Guest of the Year anymore. Like, you're literally you're not allowed. Like, it doesn't count. It's not fair. You literally just like here all the time. Every
You're like
second
voting for me
episode,
as
one of
Guest
you
of the
cunts are
Year.
here.
We're never leaving.
Yeah. I feel like James can be Guest of the Year. Has a better shot
That's
at that
true.
than you guys.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, both of you have individually co-hosted the show this year.
Oh,
So-
shit, yeah, we have.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
Mad.
So
Mental.
think about that. But yeah, so thank you guys, and
That's it.
we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
We will indeed.
Let's
See you later, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.